No, not yet. Voila. Ladies and gentlemen, this is NFC Now show number. Hold up. Show number 23. Let's get it. Voila, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, happy Monday. This is NFC Now, show number 23. I am Julian Virgin. Probably looking around like, yo, where the hell is Dave Oblas? He is still recovering from this back surgery that he had last week. So when you see him on Friday, because I can guarantee you he will be there on Friday at NFC 153, do not pat him on the back. Just show him a little love, give him a nice embrace, let him know like, hey, man, it's good to see you. Matt, we miss you on the pod. Again, this is NFC Now, show number 23. I am Julian Virgin. Got an amazing show planned for everybody today. Got amazing guests, including Jesse Wable, NFC's matchmaker, to preview the entire card that's going to be taking place this Friday live at the Battery. We also have our guy, Osei Abuna. He been running around with John Jones this past week. I mean, we got to highlight him, kind of see how that experience was riding around with the GOAT, figure out like how to even get this opportunity and just celebrate, just talk about the different conversations he had, the different people he talked to and just being around the GOAT for the whole weekend. Also got our guy, Chad Risley, who'll be challenging for the NFC's flyweight belt this Friday versus Abraham Perez. Chad will be joining us a little bit later on in the show around 8:15. And then we got our guy, Mad Mike Wilson, who is our main event Mike. We got to really put some respect on his name. Main event, Mad Mike Wilson. He will be taking the cage in the main event against Devontae Sewell. That fight should be a banger to cap off a wonderful evening at NFC 153 this Friday live at the Battery. Super excited. Y'all let me know how you feel. Drop some comments. Let me know how you feeling about this Friday. Drop some comments again. Let me know how you feeling about this Friday, where you going to be, if you're going to dap me up when you see me. We definitely going to be there in full effect. Look forward to that show and everybody that's going to be fighting, man. Got a lot of interesting fights. I know we got my man Nathan Rivera on the card. Let me go ahead and just go through this before. Again, we're going to go through a full detailed breakdown of the card once Jesse Wable comes on. But I just want to make sure I'm able to just tell y'all a couple of people. Got my guy Jay Lewis on the card. Again, that Abraham Perez fight is going to be a banger. Tony Hope versus Seth Haas for the amateur 135-pound Muay Thai belt. That's going to be a banger. We got Nima Chingazi, NFC's, I believe, 155 champ. I don't know if this fight's going to be taking place at 145 against Shamar. We should definitely talk to Jesse Wable about that. Our guy Austin Childers will be fighting Kiara West as well. That's our co-main event. We got our guy Larry Green fighting Bethley. Excuse me for not remembering his first name. I'm not looking at it at the moment. But that's going to be a heavyweight fight. That's going to be an amazing bout. It looks like Christian Harden is out of his fight against Damon Friend. And our guy Antonio Walker will be stepping in to face him for the sixth bout of the night. Nico Peace is making his return to the NFC cage. He was definitely exciting his last time out for that Muay Thai bout. He'll be fighting this guy Breed. Looking forward to that. Jonathan Coffey, I believe he's a heavyweight. So our guy Dean, I forget, his name's not Nakobe Dean, but I remember Dean fought. He's a real interesting character. So, again, we got a lot of really, really dope fights this Friday night live at the Battery for NFC 153. Exciting news. Really exciting news. Shout out to Terrapin. They're going to be pouring up our own NFC Mixed Martial Ale on tap for the fights. That's an American Pale Ale, 5.7% alcohol by volume. Again, Terrapin will have the NFC Mixed Martial Ale on tap for the fights. You definitely make sure y'all go ahead, pour a couple of those, drink responsibly. Let me know what you think about that. NFC Mixed Martial Ale. Again, drop some comments. Let me know exactly what you think about that. Before we get to our first topic of the day, I want to take some time to highlight our NFC promo. Let's get it. Atlanta's most exciting sporting event takes over the Battery for the very first time. Friday, March 10th at Sports and Social for NFC 153. So don't miss your chance to watch these gladiators go to war in the NFC cage at Sports and Social live at the Battery. Friday, March 10th. Tickets are available at nfcfighting.com. Out to Jenna Lee Childress, founder and CEO of Flatline Cinema, for that NFC 153 Battery promo. Again, exciting fights coming up. Jesse, I see you in the queue, brother. And before we get to Jesse, I want to talk a little bit about UFC 285, the John Jones return. A couple of my news and notes that I just peeped when I was watching it this past Saturday, right? Again, y'all, please feel free to drop some of these comments in here. Let me know where you watching from, where you at. Let me know if any of my takes are crazy, okay? Y'all just communicate back and forth with me. Again, Julian Virgin here on NFC Now, show number 23. UFC 285, John Jones return against Ciryl Gane this past Saturday. The fight ended, I think it was 2 minutes, 53 seconds into round number one, with John Jones submitting Ciryl Gane. It looked like Ciryl Gane really didn't want to be there. The moment may have been just a little too big for him with respect to him even making that walk. I looked at this fight as a warm-up fight for John Jones. This was like the tune-up for him going against Stipe. I looked at it that way. It kind of reminded me of that Conor McGregor return. Remember when he returned and he faced Cowboy Cerrone? That's the energy I got from this fight. You know, it ended so quick. It, didn't even get an opportunity for us to like really get a couple rounds in. I always like to see at least a round and a half. Give me a round and a half of a fight, and I'm good. Yeah, that's how I looked at this John Jones fight. I'm really excited for this Stipe fight because once you go against Stipe, like that's a real heavyweight fight. Because I think John Jones said it earlier in the week. Ciryl was like the most incomplete guy in the top five. He really hadn't faced a big wrestler outside of Francis Ngannou, which we know he isn't a big wrestler. So him versus Stipe. Stipe is the goat of that. I hate that goat because they throw that goat around all the time, man, and it's like, it makes me cringe. Stipe is one of the most decorated heavyweights in the history of the UFC. Going against, it's fair to say John Jones is the GOAT of the UFC. So I'm looking forward to that one. Valentina Shevchenko against Alexa Grasso. I'm a huge fan of Valentina Shevchenko. I still remain that she is she's top 5 pound for pound, male or woman, male or female in the UFC. Valentina Shevchenko is an incredible fighter. Incredible. She got submitted by and Larry Green. I see you, man. Man, the energy in the building was so amazing for the last 2 fights. They booed Ciryl so bad during that walkout. They really did. And I think that's really disrespectful, but I mean, it comes with the property. You know, he was fighting in John Jones's background, and this was John Jones' return fight. Everybody was tuning in and bought the pay-per-view for John Jones. So it was cool to see. It just seemed like, Ciryl just like he wasn't used to being the bad guy. And he's a good guy. Going back to this Valentina Shevchenko Alexa Grasso fight, I had just a weary feeling in my soul that Alexa was going to get this job done, and I didn't know how she was going to do it, but she got it done. That choke that she wrapped up was brutal. You saw Valentina Shevchenko's whole face turned bright red because she was getting strangled. But it was clear that Valentina was the better fighter. She just got caught in a really bad position. And shout out to Alexa Grasso. Again, I just felt that Alexa Grasso was going to win that fight. And I'm a fan of Alexa Grasso, too. I saw her at UFC 236 in Chicago. She fought on the undercard that night. And she just her and her whole team, they were really, really cool. Her team consists of Aldana, the 135-pound woman. She's Aldana. I forgot her first name, but she's really, really good. But they're both Mexican fighters. It's good to see Mexican fighters, doing their thing in the UFC. Again, they hold 3 belts. I believe it's Alexa Grasso, Yair Rodriguez, and Brandon Moreno at 125, all holding belts. Talking about Mexican fighters again, we got our guy Abraham Perez facing Chad Risley for the NFC's 125-pound flyweight belt this week. Super excited to get Abraham's crowd out there. Abraham's crowd is different than every other crowd, different than most crowds in the NFC. They really sold out Tannery Rowe when he fought last time against Christopher Wynn, and I'm excited to see what they have this time. So again, shout out to all the Mexican champs, all my Mexican brothers and sisters out there, mi amigos, you know what I'm saying, las amigas. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Alexa Grasso. She definitely did her thing. This dude Shavkat Rakhmonov, he's vicious. He's 17-0, all finishes. He beat Jeff Neal. People sleep on Jeff Neal. I think Jeff Neal is a great fighter. Jeff Neal, we've seen him in there in the cage with a lot of guys at 170. He doesn't go out easy. Him being a southpaw fighter, his striking is serious, and he's tough as nails. And he sat up there and he fought that man, and he gave Rakhmonov his best fight. But Rakhmonov is legit. It was a standing choke. I haven't seen many of those in the UFC. That was pretty cool. And then we had Bo Nickel fight. I like Bo Nickel. I like what's going on. I like the way they're pushing him. I just wish they would put him against. I mean, I understand this is his third fight, and if you're gonna put him first fight on the pay-per-view card, at least put him against somebody else that can give him a little bit of a fight. You remember that Ben Askren fight when Ben Askren came to the UFC and he fought Robbie Lawler? Yeah, Ben Askren obviously was a lot more decorated. So was Robbie Lawler, but Robbie Lawler gave him a fight. It seemed like Bo Nickel came in there, he just grabbed him and strangled him, and the fight was over. I wish we got to see just a little bit more. But shout out to Bo Nickel. I know he's here. He's very he's good. Somebody good to be marketed. So that was cool. Shout out to Cody Garbrandt. I saw him on the undercard. That was a good fight. He did his thing. The guy that he fought, he really didn't want to fight, for the first 2.5 rounds, but then at the end, then he kind of stepped it up a little bit. So that was cool. So shout out to UFC 285. I just kind of wanted to get some feedback, get those thoughts off my head immediately before we got to Jesse Wable. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring in our guy, NFC's lead matchmaker, the one, the only, Jesse Wable.
What's going on, Julian?
Jesse, what's up, brother? Hold on. I don't see you just yet. Here we go. We're in here, man. Good to see you, man. Happy Monday. How you feeling?
Good, man. How about yourself?
No complaints. Chilling at the crib, getting geared up for this Friday. Got a lot of really big fights on. But before we talk about the fights, man, tell us about this weekend with Kaysen.
Yeah, long weekend. Had some basketball games on Saturday, then traveled to Perry, which is right next to Macon. Stayed the night there in a hotel. He had state championships for wrestling. He qualified this year, which was good. This was the first year he didn't place. He was a little disappointed. He had 1 win, 2 losses, but it's okay. It's all good. He's only 9 years old. He's been at it since he was almost 4, just under 4 years old. It's awesome watching him grow up and just seeing things absorb and, click in his brain where he starts learning and picking things up. And, by the time he's in middle school, he should be good going against them first and second year wrestlers. He should be smashing everybody. So that's the plan.
For sure, man. As a dad, what would you say is the highlight of your weekend? Just spending time with him. What was the moment where that made you the most happiest?
Yeah, like I said, I work a lot. I have a full-time job. I work, last week I worked 60 hours, then traveled to Macon, doing all that. I'm busy all the time, but definitely just the highlight of the week is just watching Kaysen, man. There's nothing more. I love watching my son just compete, train, go out there and give it his all, and he's, like I said, he's 9 years old and he's going out there in front of 1,000 people all around in these, crowds and everything. And I couldn't imagine doing that at 9 years old. So it's just, I love my little boy. He's awesome.
Did you spend a lot of time with your dad like that?
Yeah. Growing up, my dad was always not martial arts. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get into martial arts until I was 14, but soccer games, hockey. I'm from up north, so hockey was popular. We were playing soccer and hockey, and my dad was always around, working hard, and I'm just, I don't want to say trying to do the same thing he's doing, but I just want to be there for Kaysen and just do everything I can for him.
It's so important, man. So shout out to you for just just being that dope dad. Because I mean, you always put on for Kaysen, and we see that as a whole, man. So shout out to Kaysen for getting out there competing. 9 years old, representing not only the NFC but his parents the right way, man. So shout out to Kaysen. I know he went out there and tried his hardest, especially knowing that his dad had his back. So again, ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Wable joining us here on NFC Now, show number 23. We got a stat card this weekend, man. I see there's a couple adjustments that have been made last minute, but let's go ahead and I would just love to go through all the fights with you if we could. If you have time so we can go through the card.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so cool. We'll start at the very bottom. We got Enrique versus Harden. And forgive me for not saying the first names because I don't have the first names in front of me. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, John Carr, he's the one who just fought Drew Fitchen last. He has a win over Drew Fitchen. Kenny Harden is making his debut. He's out of Georgia Pro MMA. We haven't had anybody from Georgia Pro MMA on the card ever, as far as I know, and they've got 2 guys on the card today. This weekend. So that's going to be interesting. I'm excited for that one.
Where are they based out of?
I believe Kennesaw, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they took over the old Hard Knocks MMA gym.
Okay. I'm following you. And then Jakar?
Yeah, John Carr out of ATT Atlanta, big 155er. Hopefully he makes weight. I think he was the only one that was over the 10% limit this past week when we had to send in the 10% weight checks. But we'll see. Hopefully he makes weight.
Okay, that should be a good fight. Again, I did see Jakar fight against Drew Fitchen. Heavy wrestler. Yeah. Hopefully we get to see some hands being thrown. I'm not sure what kind of fighter Harden is, but I'm interested in that fight to start off. Our second fight, our guy Nico Peace is returning back to the cage against who is Breed?
Gunnar Breed. So he's 0-0. All I know about this guy, like I said, you never really know with an 0-0 guy how he's going to be, how good of a fighter he is. But he is at a team dojo with Chris Walker, DJ Wegeson. He is a Taekwondo black belt. This is going to be his first Muay Thai fight. I know Muay Thai and Taekwondo are a little different. And he's fighting Nico Peace, who his last name is Price, but he likes to go by Nico Peace. Just a cool, chill guy. I've seen him fight one time. He made his debut on one of the cards at Tannery Row, and super relaxed fighter, super technical, trains with OC Abunah. So, 2 great camps, expecting a good Muay Thai fight.
Nico, I remember him because he was dancing in the cage afterwards and going in. Like those guys from Gwinnett Training Academy. I think I've seen him. What was the other guy that came in there? He was
Miles Neal.
Miles Neal was really dancing. And so again, these are just things to me. I talk about characters every week here on NFC Now. Those are the things that just grab me. So I look forward to watching him compete. Is it Jonathan Coffey?
Yes, Jonathan Coffey Jr.
Jonathan Coffey Jr. versus
Jaron Alexander. He's also 0-0, has never fought for us before. He trains out of Independent MMA in McDonough under Alejandro Allen and Chad Brown. But he's fighting John Coffey, who, has 1 Muay Thai fight and I believe 4 to 5 MMA fights. I mentioned to the other camp, this guy's already got 5 fights between MMA and kickboxing. They said, we don't care. We'll take the fight anyways. It's going to be the first heavyweight fight of the night in the small cage. So that'll be fun. And it is kickboxing. So, no going to the ground. These guys are going to be trading leather on the feet. So, definitely excited for a heavyweight kickboxing fight in that smaller cage.
Definitely excited about that. Now, you did say that you just mentioned 2 0-0, 3 0-0 guys. How does that go about? Does their coach just reach out to you? Or do you kind of reach out to them and hey, do you have anybody that's looking for a fight?
Yeah, basically every 4 to 5 weeks, once a month, I'll resurface, reach out to all the coaches and just let them know when the next events are. Let them, if you guys have anybody available, let me know. And, usually on my days off, on the weekends, I'll sit down and kind of go back through my messages through the week and organize everything and kind of structure everything and try to make some matchups.
With this new gym in Kennesaw, was this coach reach out to you or you always prospect in new gyms?
He actually reached out to me. Like I said, I wasn't super familiar with the gym, which is surprising. I know most gyms in Georgia, but I wasn't super familiar with the gym. But luckily, the coach reached out to me, and he had about 3 to 4 fighters available and ready to go. So far, they've got 2 on the card next week. They've all turned in their medicals. Everybody's been professional, sending weight videos. So excited to have a new gym for the NFC.
And that is, I'm sure that's exciting for the gym's behalf as well, because it's like, okay, now we're going to kind of see where we stack up against some of these other guys in the state.
Yeah, absolutely.
Indeed. Okay, so fight number 4, we have is it Jeremy Medina?
Yeah, Jeremy Medina versus Chris Dean.
Okay, I've seen both of these guys fight. How did this matchup come about?
Yeah, so Chris Dean just wants to stay busy. His last fight was a Muay Thai kickboxing fight. He fought Colby Carnes, won by decision. He's just always reaching out, wanted to stay busy, get on the card, whether it was MMA or Muay Thai. Jeremy Medina is a MMA fighter, doesn't do much Muay Thai, but he's a solid wrestler, comes out of a good gym, Warrior BJJ. Chris Dean coming out of American Top Team, Team Lima. So just, again, 2 good gyms. Chris hasn't won an MMA fight yet. I believe he's 0-2, maybe 0 I believe he's 0-3 in MMA, but he has fought good competition, so that's not really saying much. But Jeremy Medina is a strong grappler. Chris is definitely more of a stand-up fighter, so I would expect a classic grappler versus stand-up fight for this one.
I think it does say a lot when you say like 0-3 doesn't say much. It says a lot to me that like he's keeping the go, like he's going, he's continuing to make that walk, like he's not gonna quit. I like that. So definitely shout out to Dean for making that walk again. I look forward to that fight. That's fight number 4. I have a sneaky feeling that's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah.
Fight number 5, La Puma versus Brown.
So again, 0-0 versus 0-0. I don't know anything about either of these guys. Lance trains at SPG Athens. I don't really get up to Athens that much. I've never seen him train or anything. And Tommy Brown, again, coming out of Georgia Pro MMA, the newer gym, fighting at 125 pounds. I know that Tommy Brown's really excited. He's been posting. I've seen him posting just about every day for the last couple months on social media about the fight. He's ready to go. And it's 125 pounds. So, these guys are going to be fast. It's their debut. I'm sure they're going to be pumped fighting like their first fight in this badass venue. They're going to come out, ready to go. So, yeah, that'll be a good fight for sure.
That wraps up our amateur MMA portion. Fight number 6, we have Damon Friend versus now Antonio Walker. What happened with Christian Harden?
So Christian Harden was just having problems getting in the gym, basically. It happens to a lot of amateur fighters, pro fighters, and everybody. Life happens, you know what I mean? And just unfortunately, life happened, and he had to back out due to personal reasons. But, shout out to Mr. Go-To Antonio Walker. Has never told me no to any fights. I love that kid. And it's another good, even matchup. And this will be Antonio's first time doing ground and pound. So even though he has been able to do ground and pound his last couple fights, he's still gone against amateur fighters because he had that losing record. But now he picked up a win, and he gets to go out and do advanced amateur MMA against Damon Friend, who's 1-2. So 1-2 versus 1-5, advanced amateur MMA, 145 pounds. That should be fun. I'm excited to see Antonio without shin guards on and being able to punch on the ground. He has more of a grappling-based style, but when he gets to the ground, he's not able to punch a lot. So sometimes I feel like that may be why he lost a couple of his amateur fights. So I'm definitely excited for that one.
I'm excited for that one too, man. Shout out for Antonio taking that. How late notice was that? Like, how did this come about?
This was about a week and a half ago. And like I said, I messaged him and it was just an immediate yes.
Was he the first person that you messaged?
Sorry?
Was he the first person that you messaged?
He was. I just, like I said, Antonio always pops in my mind. And, a lot of the guys at that weight were booked anyways, but I just knew that guy don't say no. Let's just go ahead and save the fight, make sure that, Damon keeps his fight in play. And yeah, so everything worked out.
I think that also says something too to like everybody in the community. Like, Jesse's a human too. So if you stay on top of his mind, he's going to give you the call first.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's certain ways that people go about it. Obviously, Antonio has never said no. So he is open for an opportunity down the line, like an opportunity to fight at the Battery, which is such a big opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a big one for you to call him first. That means a lot.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited for him. I hope he enjoys the venue and enjoys the experience.
For sure. Fight number 7, another advanced amateur MMA match. Nathan Rivera versus Cody Ortiz, man. Let's talk about that one.
Yeah, this is one of the fights I'm most excited about on the card. I love watching Nathan Rivera fight. Like I said, a lot of power on the feet. He's coming off a quick knockout victory. I believe it was 10 seconds over Christian Harden. Knockout of the year. And, like he says, he doesn't get married to his wins, doesn't get married to his losses, and he's going against a tough Cody Ortiz out of Striker Fight Center, who's well-rounded, 1 win, 3 losses, but his 3 losses were to some stiff competition. One of the losses was Brendan Sullivan, who just won the Valor the Aries FS 145-pound championship this past weekend. He's fought studs. So this is a good, even style fight. Again, advanced amateur MMA. I think this is Cody's first advanced amateur MMA fight in Georgia. In Tennessee, they automatically do ground and pound. So he's already had some ground and pound fights, but this will be his first one in Georgia where he'll be able to do ground and pound. But Nathan Rivera and Cody Ortiz is definitely gonna be a fun fight.
I'm interested to really see how this plays out, man. Especially again, as you said, Nathan coming off of that KO of the year, and that's such a hell of a title to have to your name, like knockout of the year. Him coming off of the knockout of the year, while previously coming off of some really tough losses. I'm interested to see how he bounces back, especially being somebody that's so popular within the NFC. Against, as you're saying, Cody Ortiz is somebody that is battle tested, and so I am interested, and I think we should all circle fight number 7.
Absolutely.
Is this Jamarcus Hall versus, is it Demario Davis?
Devontae Davis. Yeah, so that's a sleeper fight. It hasn't been getting a ton of attention, but those 2 dudes are good at kickboxing. I mean, they're both exciting, high pressure. Neither of them are going to get tired. They both have just beautiful technique. Both keep their hands up. This is going to be, I don't know what's going to happen in this fight, but the crowd, I think this is going to be the sleeper fight of the night for sure. And it's advanced amateur Muay Thai, no shin guards, elbows are allowed. That's going to be a fantastic fight. Trust me.
Because Jamarcus Hall had a really good outing versus not Tony Hope.
Seth Haas and Tony Hope.
Yeah, he fought both of those guys really, really tough. Like he's no slouch. His record might deceive you. His record really might deceive you, but like the dude can fight. Like he could definitely fight. And we definitely seen not Demario. What's his name again?
Devontae. Yeah, we haven't seen Devontae fight since he had a title shot against Justin McCollum last, I believe it was October, November for my 3rd event. One of those shows. But that was a good fight. Again, he put up a good fight against Justin McCollum, but Justin picked up the victory. But yeah, we haven't seen him since then. I'm definitely pumped to have him back.
Yeah, I would circle that fight. Okay, like I see the card is getting real hefty at this point in time.
Yeah.
That Davis versus Hall fight. Definitely looking forward to that one. Now, Miles Dillahunty versus John Lewis. Miles Dillahunty is a tank of a man. And as a heavy wrestler, I believe he won his fight via submission last time out versus I would say a veteran in the NFC and a John Lewis. I've seen him fight many times over the years, and he's a grown man. So, what are your thoughts about fight number 9?
Yeah, this is going to be a good fight at 185 pounds. It definitely has title implications, for the winner. John Lewis, 2 wins, 2 losses. He's fought for the NFC twice, and he fought probably 2 of the best fighters to ever come out of the NFC. Carl Williams, who's in the UFC now, and Reese Watkins, who's making his pro debut in April. Like I said, that guy's fought some studs, and he trains out of Independent MMA under Alejandro Allen, Chad Brown. That's a great gym, man. Another underrated gym out of Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Excited to see John Lewis, and I believe this is going to be his 185 debut. I don't believe he's fought under 205 pounds before. I could be wrong. I am a lot, but I don't think he
didn't he fight. I remember that Reese Watkins fight at the district. That was when I was first introduced to both of them.
I believe it was at a catchweight, but like I said, I could be wrong, man. I booked thousands and thousands of fights. I'm not.
Trust me when it comes to talking fights.
Yeah,
I'm following you.
Yeah, and then Miles Dillahunty training out of ATT Lima, of course, training with studs every day over there. That's going to be a banger for sure.
Interested to see how fight number 9 takes place. And before we go on to fight 10 and the rest of them, how do y'all go about lining up these fights? Like basically slotting these fights?
So David actually made the lineup for this fight. I normally do. I've just had a super busy weekend, and he went ahead and made it for me. So thank you, David, if you're watching. I appreciate that. Doing some of the work for me. That's what's up. But yeah, normally, like I said, we're putting the amateurs first, the advanced amateurs after that, the pros last. Obviously, if you're selling tickets, we want to try to put the ticket sellers as later in the card as we can, so that the fans stick around and don't bounce out early. You don't want to put them first on the card and have 80 to 100 people or however many tickets are selling leave. So yeah, just based off a number of factors.
Okay, ticket sellers. I think everybody should note that too. The more tickets you sell, the higher up on the card you're gonna be. Like,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, we just take notes. Again, this is NFC Now, show number 23. I'm Julian Virgin. That is Jesse Wable. As we are going through the NFC 153 card, we're previewing the entire card live at the Battery this Friday, March 10th. Alex Gordy versus Hughes. Is Hughes from this gym as well? This new gym?
Hughes is actually out of Warrior BJJ under Vic Rosati. And I love watching Will Hughes fight. He comes out with a little bit of an attitude, like, mean, looking at his opponent, like, there's no way you're going to beat me. Staring down his opponent. Yeah. I love it. This is going to be his first advanced amateur MMA fight, and he's facing Alex Gordy. Both of these guys are 3-0. Somebody's has got to go. But like I said, both of these guys come out of really good gyms. Alex Gordy training out of Bad Apple MMA. His head coach is Joseph Creer, who's a hell of a fighter. He is a bare knuckle boxer. He's fought in Bellator. He's fought all over the world. He's fought for us a ton of times. And like I said, Will Hughes coming out of Warrior BJJ, tough kid. Both of these guys 3-0, 135 pounds. I'm expecting a high-paced, fast-action fight.
Sleeper fight. Another sleeper fight. Okay, this is I like this fight too, man, because I remember watching Gordy fight at Tannery Row a couple of months ago. Gordy's a fighter. Gordy's he's a tough kid.
Walked out so fresh and so clean. It was a good walkout.
You know what I mean? Like little stuff like that, man. Like I'm looking forward to watching Gordy and the way in which you speak about what was Hughes' first name?
Will Hughes.
Will Hughes. When was the last time he fought?
He fought James Agee for us for one of the amateur series cards we had. He fought once for Elevate, and he had another fight at the district for us. But yeah, like I said, 3-0, and he's looked real impressive his last fight. His last fight, he actually won by a clinch standing up, kneed the guy to the body, and the guy just crumbled to the ground. And it was just a knee to the body TKO, which is kind of rare.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and circle fight number 10. Josh Gordy versus Will Hughes. That should be a good one. Now to fight number 11. We got Nima Chingazi versus this guy, Jamar. Who's that?
Yeah, so anybody watching that, we travel around a lot. The NFC, we go to Tennessee, we go to Alabama, we go places and partner up with other shows. We went to Dothan, Alabama. We went to Dothan, Alabama last month, or maybe 2 months ago. And there was a guy, Justin Jamar, on the card. They did the fighters meeting. David introduced me and said, hey, if anybody wants to ever come up to Atlanta and fight for the NFC, this is my matchmaker. Hit him up. And this guy, Justin Jamar, he was the first or second fight on the card. It was a kickboxing fight. Although he has 10 MMA fights, he just wants to fight and stay busy. So he was doing a kickboxing fight just to stay busy. Up a weight class, won by knockout. And he came up to me right after this, walked out of the cage, walked right up to me and said, hey, man, I want to get on a card. And I said, okay, cool. Yeah. Shoot me a message on Facebook. I'll get back to you on Monday. I left it at that. Then he came up to me, went backstage, got his gloves off, everything, came back out. Yo, so when's your next card? This and that. I got you, bro. I'm going to go ahead and type you in my phone now. Went ahead and did it in front of him. I got you. Came up to me a third time, asking me again, So by this point, at the end of the night, I'm already sending out matchups to coaches. Like, all right, you want to fight? I got you. I'm going to get you a fight. And he's not fighting an easy, he's not fighting easy competition. I put him against the best we got to offer. Nima Chingazi, 5-0, our current NFC 145-pound champion. He's actually vacating the belt. He's moving up to 155 for this fight, and then after this fight, he's going pro at 45, which is why Dell and TJ Holt are fighting for the vacant belt. But Nima is moving up to 155 pounds for this fight. Couldn't find anybody for him to fight. He wasn't particularly keen on the TJ Holt rematch. So he's moving up a weight class, and he's fighting Justin Jamar, who's 7-3. Tough dude who's fought a lot of good guys. And that's going to be a high-level fight. I'm curious to see what Nima looks like at 155, if he plans on staying there for his pro career, or if he's going to drop back down to 45 when he goes pro. But yeah, Nima Chingazi and Justin Jamar is going to be a good one. And I'm just excited to see Justin. He's coming up from Alabama. This is his first fight for the NFC, and he's fighting on one of the biggest shows we've ever had. So, like I said, I just hope he enjoys the experience. I hope he goes back after this and tells all his training partners and friends, like, dude, you guys need to go fight for the NFC. They're legit.
I think this is another moment that just Jesse Wable is human, and if you talk to him, he's gonna remember this. And like, this is such a big opportunity again for Justin Jamar to be fighting live at the Battery against the NFC's 145-pound champion. Just imagine if he goes out here, and I'm just saying, just imagine. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. Just imagine if he goes out here and smokes Nima.
Yeah. Then he's going to have a whole bunch of people wanting to fight him, which is great. We'll keep him busy.
At 150. Indeed. I'm interested with the 7-3 record. I'm interested when he's going to go pro.
Yeah.
And, I think that's a question that we should ask a couple more of these amateurs, especially that we have on the show. Because I think you stated, man, you went pro a little too early.
Oh, yeah. Way too early.
Just kind of get an idea, like, when are they thinking to go early? And, what would you tell amateurs about, going pro and like really thinking through that decision?
Listen to your coaches. Don't listen, you got to listen to your coaches, your mentors, the people around you. I was way too in a hurry to go pro. I wanted to fight for the money. I thought, I'm sick of fighting for free. Dude, I'm not saying there's not money in local MMA. You're going to make money, but it's not enough to live off of. You still got to have a full-time job. It doesn't pay all the bills, and unless you got a side hustle going on, I don't know. But just as far as skill wise, you want to take fights as an amateur. You don't want to go into your pro career not having any tough fights. You know what I mean? And I would just say fight a lot, fight as much as you can, do different styles of fights, do Muay Thai, do MMA, do jiu-jitsu tournaments. Branch out, do jiu-jitsu tournaments, go do a karate thing here and there. Just be well-rounded. Like I said, most importantly, listen to your coaches. Just believe in them. If you have a good coach, that's really all you need.
I think that's important.
All it takes is one coach to believe in you, you know what I mean, and just push you, you know what I mean? So just like I said, just listen to your coaches.
For sure. You do see a lot of people rushing to become pro, and I get it. You gotta make money, but also we wanted these guys to be the best fighters they could possibly be, especially before they go out in their pro career and fight some of these other guys and ultimately represent Georgia MMA. So, yeah, I'm interested to see this Nima Changizi versus Justin Jamar fight. I mean, that's another circle that fight. So I got fight 11, 10, 8, 7, and 4 circled at the moment. That's what I have. So that's a couple.
That's what's up.
Now we're going to our title fights. Our NFC Bantamweight champion vacant title that's on the line for Tony Hope against Seth Haas, advanced amateur Muay Thai. Your thoughts?
Yeah, 12 gauge Seth Haas versus Tony Hope, man. Like I said, I've never seen either of them in a boring fight. Tony Hope, he's only fought for the NFC once, but the one fight he did have for us was spectacular against Jamarcus Hall. I believe he broke his toe, like bent his toe sideways in the last round, still kept fighting. Just unorthodox, throwing things from all angles. Was really fun and different. Was like a different fighter to watch. Photogenic too. Had some great photos.
For sure.
And but Seth Haas, like I said, they call him 12 gauge. The dude throws bombs when he fights. More boxing heavy in his style. I'm sure he's been working a lot on his leg kicks, but he's definitely a boxer. He's got that boxing background. As to where Tony's kind of clinch, knees, mixes everything up. You never really know what he's going to throw. So, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen in that fight, but I know it's going to be a guaranteed fireworks.
Seth said this is his 3rd time fighting for this belt. I'm sure he's coming in with a lot of extra motivation. And like Seth just walks around with that chip on his shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a nice firm handshake. He's an intimidating dude. And I'm like, yo, what's going on, Seth? Don't knock me out. What's up, bud?
I like that level of intensity that Seth walks around with. And again, I could be wrong, but I feel like I've seen Tony Hope fight about 3 times. Once.
You're right. Yeah, he did. He fought twice. He fought once at the Pink Pony. You're right. He fought once at the Pink Pony and once at District.
Once at District. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping about 3, but I definitely saw him at Pink Pony first and District second. He's hard to miss because he's a tall, lengthy kid. So that's an interesting matchup because Seth Haas is pretty tall for 135 as well. So met somebody that's gonna be able to look him dead in the face. I'm interested to see how Tony Hope handles Seth Haas's just hooks. I mean, Seth Haas throws like very Very, very violent hooks.
Yeah, man. And if one of them land, like, you're going to sleep. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm excited for that one for sure.
Bad intention as well. So I'm interested to see how but Tony Hope trains with killers too. He trains with TJ. He trains at Bangkok. So look, I mean, he's gonna be prepared for this fight. I'm interested to see, like, this is a really good fight.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when you first
go ahead and circle another one.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely have to circle that one. That Tony Hope Seth Haas fight. That is a good fight.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what their records are. I know Seth Haas had a tie his last time out, a draw rather. But I'm interested to see what their records are. But I mean, that's everybody. Fight number 12, Tony Hope versus Seth Haas. I think that's a fight of the night candidate for sure. NFC Flyweight Championship, we have Chad Risley versus Abraham Perez, an advanced amateur, again, for the 125-pound belt. We saw Abraham Perez grab that belt last time, main evented at Tannery Row versus Chris Wynn, early submission. Chad Risley was also on that card. Chris Wynn is Chad Risley's primary training partner, I believe, at ATT. Chad is looking to, I would say, avenge his training partner's loss and also take that belt. Chad was also on that Tannery Row card and had a submission of the year candidate. He did get submission of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
So how do you see that one? What are you seeing on that fight, bro?
Abraham Perez, man, I've seen he's fought for the NFC / he fought for Conflict once for us. It was kind of a joint promotion. But I've seen all of his fights, man, and I've seen him grow. And I've just seen something in that kid. He's quiet. He's not on social media. But I've always seen something special in that kid, and which is why I made him the main event for my last card against Chris and win. Chris was the champ. I just knew there was something about that kid. And like we saw in his last fight, is pretty much flawless. I don't think he really took any shots on the feet. Choked Chris Wynn out in the first round, put him to sleep. And it was right in front of Chris's teammate, Chad Risley, who's real tight with Chris. He trains out of American Top Team Lima, is coming off the submission of the year last year for the NFC, that slick armbar over Brian Armstrong. And, Chad and Abraham are both two of the top 125-pounders in Georgia. And I think we're in for a hell of a fight. I don't know how it's going to go. I guess you would have to say Abraham's the favorite. He's 4-0. He's coming off a big win over Chris Wynn. But, Chad Risley's looking to come and get that belt. He's pumped up. He's hyped. He's training hard. And like I said, may the best man win. I'm pumped for that fight.
Both of these guys have pretty big fan bases, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh, yeah. Chad Risley always brings out a crowd, and Abraham brings out the most unique, funnest, loudest, dope crowd I've ever seen. The last time at Tannery Row, I knew he was going to bring out a crowd. I didn't know it was going to be like that.
Yeah, and they were loud and rowdy. And I would say everybody get you a crowd like that, but I know, support is hard to find, especially in the fight game, and you don't know how people's families set up and X, Y, and Z. But
yeah,
if everybody had a crowd like Abraham Perez, I'm sure it's pretty hard for him to lose when they have literally the whole hood come out for him.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know whether I was at a fight in an Atlanta United game. Like, they had all the noisemakers cheering so loud. It was awesome.
It was amazing. I'm interested to see how they pack out the battery this coming Saturday. Again, that's fight number 13 for the NFC's Flyweight Championship, Chad Risley versus Abraham Perez. Fight number 14, you have Larry Green versus Bethley. What's Bethley's first name?
Jaworski
Bethley. Now, last week on the pod, somebody came on and said he's 0-6. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe he has a couple wins as an amateur, but as pro and MMA, yeah, he's 0-6. He's fought some good people, but unfortunately just hasn't picked up a win yet.
Again, to me, that says a lot that he's still making the walk. Like that. Again, I have so much respect for those who just make the walk, but you consistently making the walk after tasting defeat, that says a lot about you as a man. So shout out to Jaworski.
Hey, and I respect the hell out of him he called out Larry Green. He messaged me saying, hey, I want to do a Muay Thai fight. Do you have anybody in mind? I didn't really want to kind of toss Larry Green's name out there just because of his record. You know what I mean? I was trying to find something a little more even as far as like on paper goes, his record. But then he just messaged me and said, hey, what about Larry Green? Is Larry Green available? And, I guess on paper, he's 0-0 in Muay Thai. I believe Larry's 1-1 in Muay Thai. On paper, it makes sense. And, if he's asking for it, why not make it happen? It'd be a fun fight for the fans to see. Heavyweight, pro Muay Thai in an 18-by-18 cage. Sounds like a good time to me.
It does sound like a great time, especially in that smaller cage. This is like the third time you mentioned it. Like, again, ladies and gentlemen, David is renting out Combat Nights cage, and that cage is, what did you say, 18 feet?
Yeah, and David's is normally 24, so be a little different.
You competed. Did cage size truly matter?
I don't know. I didn't really think about it. I fought in a ring. Dave used to have a ring when I had my first couple fights, and towards the last couple, it transitioned to a cage. But man, I don't know. I never even really thought about it like that. I'm sure I would if it was an 18-foot cage. Yeah, I'm sure I would have noticed a difference. But once you get in there, once you're walking out and you get in the cage, trust me, none of these guys are going to be thinking about 18-foot cage. They're not going to give a shit about that.
That makes sense. Heavyweight professional heavyweight Muay Thai fight. That should be a banger. And again, Jakowski called out Larry Green. Larry accepts that all day. That's fight number 14, leading to our co-main event, Austin Childers versus Kiara West. Is it Kiara or Kiara?
Kiara.
Kiara West. And shout out to Kiara. That's the homie. I just wanted to make sure I was saying his name properly.
Yeah.
This is a sneaky good fight too.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I like Kiara. Kiara's had a lot of amateur fights. He probably had 20-something amateur fights and just fought so many. He's probably fought 5 or 6 people that are currently in the UFC. Like, this guy would travel all over Tennessee, all over the place and fight everybody as an amateur. So yeah, I'm excited to see Kiara, and he's fighting Austin Childers, who hasn't fought since he fought Jamal Johnson, who's fighting Akeem in June. But Austin Childers' last fight was for the NFC against Jamal Johnson. It was a close back-and-forth fight until he eventually got armbarred. But Austin Childers has had a ton of fights for us as an amateur and as a pro. Has had knockout of the year, submission of the year for us. And Kiara West, like I said, exciting. Although maybe not the best record as a pro right now. I believe he's 0-2. He brings it every time he fights. And he's probably going to have one of the coolest walkouts of the night. He's walking out to Just a Fight by Pastor Troy. Word. So, yeah, can't wait to see that.
Is this fight at 135?
This is going to be at 135 plus 2, yeah, so 137 max.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good fight because, I mean, both of these guys, again, battle-tested, and not scared. And, they're 135 pounds, so they're moving fast. There's going to be a lot of different techniques being shown. I'm interested to see this one. And now as you say that, I would love to have Kiara West on the pod. I'm interested, you've traveled all over and fought 20 amateur fights, especially after we just had that quick dialogue about, making sure you're getting those amateur fights and preparing to be a pro. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see how that to hear more of his story. And that leads us to our main event of the evening, Devontae Sewell versus main event, Mike Wilson. That's the headline fight for this card. It should be a banger. That's also at is that 135 or 145?
So this is going to be for the NFC interim featherweight championship, which is at 145 pounds.
145 pounds, 2 guys that they said they've trained together before. How do you see that one playing?
Man, I don't know. Like I said, Mike Wilson is he's well-rounded. He's tricky. Mike Wilson's just a tricky fighter to figure out. A little bit of an awkward stand-up game, but he tags people. Like, you kind of look at him like, I don't know, that might not be the best on the feet, but then he's out there tagging people, dropping people. Dropped Brandon Moran, who's an undefeated amateur and pro fighter at a Champions Training Center. And he's got sneaky submissions, goes for buggy chokes. Any position he's in, he doesn't care. He's shooting for a submission. But he's going against Devontae Sewell, who also has fought just about everybody there is to offer, including the current undisputed NFC featherweight champion, Corey Jackson. He's fought Zach Cooper. He's fought for Bellator. He's fought all over the place. He has power in his hands. He's got a hell of a guillotine choke, which I'm sure Mike Wilson is going to be looking at. That's one of Devontae's go-to submissions. So, yeah, just curious to see. I don't know, man. Like I said, on the feet, it could go either way. On the ground, it could go either way. Both are tricky. Mike's good with submissions. Devontae's good with submissions. They've both been submitted. So, yeah, like I said, man, that's one of those toss-em fights. I'm not really sure what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that one. We had a Mon Cosme, and he main evented against Mike at the district, and he said Mike was one of his tougher fights because Mike was just so awkward and he wasn't going away. He stayed in that fight the whole time. Yeah,
I could tell. I was just like, if I was thinking like I'm gonna fight Mike Wilson, I'd be like, oh shit, man, this guy's gonna be tough to figure out. You know what I mean? He's a tough dude. Like I said, he's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Working on his black belt. Yeah, he's well-rounded as hell. And like I said, so is Devontae. These are two of the best 145-pounders in Georgia that we have to offer. So thankful that they both, stepped up, even though that they've trained together, which is awesome because, this is the slice of pizza combo that we have every week on this podcast. These guys have trained together 15 to 20 times, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that they've trained together, but I offered it. I messaged Devontae, said, look, man, I'm looking to put on a good main event for our first time at the Battery, and I'd like you to be the main event, you know what I mean, against Mike Wilson. I think it's a good fight. And I guess they kind of messaged each other, said, hey, it makes sense. I think we can both sell tickets. We're not best friends, you know what I'm saying? Let's go out there, make some money, compete, and try to, improve our records, and may the best man win. And I respect both of them for that. That's awesome.
Definitely respect both of those guys. We'll have on Mad Mike Wilson a little bit later on in NFC
cool.
Show number 23 to kind of speak a little bit more about that fight and his preparation for that. And that just about surmises NFC 153. We have 16 action-packed fights, advanced amateur Muay Thai, advanced amateur MMA, amateur MMA, amateur Muay Thai, pro Thai, and two pro. I mean, we have 3 belts being contested, man. So it's going to be an amazing night live at the Battery this Friday, March 10th. Make sure you get your tickets at nfcfighting.com. Early fight of the night predictions.
Seth Haas versus Tony Hope. Guaranteed that's probably the loudest that gets in the building the whole night.
Interesting.
No, maybe besides Abraham, Chad, maybe.
I think that one's going to be the loudest.
During the fight, when that fight goes down, I guarantee that place is going to be popping.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to see this Changazi Justin Jamar fight because Changazi doesn't say much, man. But I you talk to anybody at ATT Team Lima, they're like, yo, he's a silent killer.
He's a quiet, humble dude, man. I actually seen him. He works at Walmart. I seen him a couple months ago, just quiet as can be. Like, what's up, man? Oh, yo, Nima. But yeah, he's cool, man. And his coaches say he works hard. He's been in there training since he was like 16, 17. Doesn't say much, just shows up, trains hard, and he's one of the hardest workers in the room. And, that shows with his undefeated record. So excited for him.
Indeed. So now that's Friday, March 10th. This Friday, March 10th, NFC 153. Make sure you get your tickets at nfcfighting.com. Before we get you up out of here, Jesse, a couple of just things I want to talk to you about. Last week on the pod, TJ Holt did break news that he's going to be fighting Idel Gladney. How did that come about?
Yeah, like I said, Idel has been looking to fight. TJ wants to fight. I want TJ on our card, man. But TJ, TJ's only fighting for belts only. TJ's not just fighting to fight. You know what I mean? So he's already got the Muay Thai title for us. So the only other thing I can do is get him a title defense or an MMA title fight. And like I said, Nima 5-0 has kind of already beat all the top guys in Georgia at 145 pounds. Was trying to stay busy. Didn't really want the TJ rematch because he already choked him. Who wants an immediate rematch like that? You know what I mean? So I talked to Diego Lima. I was just like, hey, look, I know Nima's fighting at 155 pounds. Do you think after this fight he's going to go pro, or do you think he's going to want to drop to 145 pounds and defend his belt? Because if he's looking to go pro, if it's cool with you, I'd like to give Idel that shot, because Idel and Nima are teammates. But it's like, if it's cool with you and Nima doesn't really plan on defending, or he doesn't want to defend against TJ, that was also an option I offered. So will Nima defend against TJ? Say Nima comes out healthy, this Friday, and they just weren't super interested in it. So Diego was cool. It was no issues, no bad blood or anything. Diego said, yeah, let's give it to Idel. He deserves it. He works hard. So, and Idel has been reaching out, begging me to fight. And I love Idel Gladney, man. That kid's a stud. He fights hard. He, like I said, trains out of one of the best gyms in Georgia and hits me up all the time to fight. And I'm pumped, man. TJ Holt versus Idel Gladney. Another one of those classic striker versus grappler matchups. Although TJ is saying he's working on his jiu-jitsu. He's working on his takedowns and submissions. So we'll see what happens.
I'm interested to see that. And again, they have a common opponent in Travell Miller. These Muay Thai guys are now going over to MMA and getting this experience. And again, Idel is going to be the perfect test for somebody like a TJ Holt, especially following his loss to Changizi a couple months ago. But I'm definitely interested in that fight, and I was happy that he broke that news. Now, some other news that I was able to break last week was the Lewis Brewington versus Reese Watkins. Could you give us an update on that one?
Yeah, that was a bummer, man. Literally, like the day after we were down there filming, I came down and watched you guys filming. Y'all rented out a studio, was filming probably what would have been one of the best promos ever, which I'm not sure is even going to come out now or happen. Yeah. But, that's a bummer, man. I was pumped for that fight. Like I said, it's an amateur series card, but the date, the timing of everything just made sense to put it on that particular card. I know it was pretty confusing, like Reese versus Luis on an amateur series card. What's going on here?
Yeah.
But, things happen. Like I said, life happens. Things happen. Luis got a pretty bad concussion doing some boxing sparring. Some blood coming out of the nose and brain swelling or something like that from what I heard. So just praying for Luis. I hope he's okay. I hope that he's able to fight again. But yeah, that was unfortunate, man. That was going to be such a fun fight, especially to bring to Tannery Row. I was hoping to get it rescheduled for June in Atlanta, which is probably where it makes more sense, like you said last week, for that fight to happen. But it looks like Reese has already got a fight. He's booked. I don't think Luis is probably going to be ready in time by June. So for now, that's just kind of on the back burner. We're going to see if maybe we can make it happen later this year, I guess.
Yeah, from everything that I'm hearing, man, I spoke briefly with Reese Watkins. I think he's moved on from this. Unfortunately, that's just what I'm hearing. I could be wrong. I'm sure after a conversation with the brass, I'm sure if a fight wants to really get made, I'm sure y'all can make a fight happen. But with Lewis being concussed, that I think that's. I guess that's a short-lived fantasy fight that really gained a lot of life here on the pod that we all wanted to see, and I feel like the community was interested to see that. Hopefully, Lewis gets well. Now, moving forward from that, are there any other matchups that you can tell me about? I was on I was talking to a pretty boy Sam Accord this morning. He said that he might be on that April 21st card in a jiu-jitsu match. He said nothing's confirmed just yet, but I won't say his opponent. But is there anything else that you can kind of tell us that you're working on?
Yeah, I'll say his opponent. I'm trying to book Sean Valentine from SBG Buford versus Sam Accord. We'll see if we can make it happen. Man, I've been busy as hell today. I haven't even offered it to Sean's coach yet, but it was offered to Accord. We're going to work on that probably as soon as I get off this podcast now that I'm called out here. But yeah, we're looking to get Sam Accord on the card, possibly versus Sean Valentine. Both purple belts, SBG, versus his team. That'll be a good one, hopefully. So we'll see. We'll see if we can make it happen.
Have we found Jamar Whitehead a fight?
We are still looking for Jamar Whitehead a fight. The guy that fought Akeem last, Justin Ortega, agreed to fight Jamar June 2nd, but June's still a little ways away, and he's trying to stay busy before then, so he doesn't want to technically commit yet. A lot of these guys like to stay busy, and they don't, in our contracts, you can't fight within 30 days as far as like pro fights go. So if I book you to fight, March 10th or April 10th, and you book a fight, March 25th, that's not good because if you lose, you're going to get suspended for 30 days. Or if you lose by knockout, you'll get suspended for 30 days. There's all kind of, suspensions and variables that go into things. So, he didn't want to quite commit this soon, but we're looking for Jamar. But Justin Ortega is definitely the number one option I'm looking for right now.
Any other fights that are kind of cooking up right now, or just you don't even have to say the matchup, but just people that you're looking to get a fight for?
Definitely Jamar. I really would like to see Jamar fight. Joe Ham, I believe I have Joe Ham a fight booked for June. I'll be able to confirm that tomorrow. I don't want to say anything just yet. But, like I said, we just got a lot of guys looking, just looking to fill this June card up. We got Osi Abuna, who you're having on the podcast later.
He's coming on next. He's in the queue. I see him.
Oh, that's what's up. What's up, Osi? But yeah, he's fighting Marcus Leach, pro MMA, June 2nd. I'm pumped for that. That's going to be Osi's pro MMA debut. He's had a couple pro Muay Thai fights already, but looking to switch it over to MMA. And Osi kind of looks, he's moving up to heavyweight. He kind of looks like a heavyweight John Jones. I'm excited to see Osi at heavyweight and see how he looks.
Been running around with John too. I look forward to talking to him about that experience, man. Before we part ways today, Jesse Wabel, what do you want to leave me and the entire NFC community with?
Guys, Friday, March 10th, this Friday at Sports and Social. Get your tickets, nfcfighting.com. It's going to be one of the coolest cards, one of the best venues we've ever done. We've got 15, 16 badass fights on the card. Like I said, tickets, nfcfighting.com. Shout out to Jenna Lee for all the badass promo videos you did. David, I hope you're doing good. I'm praying for you. I hope to see you Friday, and I hope you're healthy. And Julian, appreciate you holding down the podcast for Dave, man. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate the love, man. I'll shout out to you, Jesse Wable. Thank you for your time this evening. I know we took a lot of time, but I'm happy that we were able to go through each fight and give each fighter their opportunity to be spoken on here on the pod, man. So definitely look forward to 16 jam-packed fights this coming Friday, March 10th live at the Battery. Jesse, keep us updated with anything going on, man. Like, even if it's just you just got to hit me on a Facebook Messenger, man. Just keep me updated, man. I'm so interested in the ins and outs of the NFC, man. So thank you, man. Have a good day.
Yes, sir. You too. Have a good one.
For sure. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Jesse Wable, NFC's lead matchmaker, the person in charge of making that thing happen. We got our guy Osei Abena in the queue right now. But before we get to him, we're going to take a quick break and just preview our show at the Battery. Atlanta's most exciting sporting event takes over the Battery for the very first time. Friday, March 10th at Sports and Social for NFC 153. So don't miss your chance to watch these gladiators go to war in the NFC cage at Sports and Social live at the Battery. Friday, March 10th. Tickets are available at nfcfighting.com. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all of my kings, queens, princes, and princesses, happy Monday. Welcome to NFC Now. I'm Julian Virgin, joining you here on this Monday evening as we prepare for NFC 153 this Friday, March 10th. Make sure you get your tickets at nfcfighting.com. Also, Terrapin will have their NFC Mixed Martial Ale on tap. Make sure you grab a couple glasses of those while you're there. Coming up next to the NFC pod, I want to make sure I'm saying this man's name right as well, because I'm sure I'm not saying it the way that his mama said it. But a man who has fought in the NFC many times, a man that has just been traveling the world, living out his dreams, the founder and CEO of Talented Reflexes, our guy, Osei Abena. Voila. Osei, what's up, brother?
What's up, Julian? How you doing?
Man, I'm actually really maintaining today, bro. I cannot complain. It's a happy Monday. Got up this morning, got a good workout in. Shout out to my people at the gym, SVG. Can't complain, man. How about yourself, bro?
Not bad, man. Just got back from Vegas. Finally got to get some rest, because it's been a hectic week. Yeah, and back to training.
Indeed. Osei, the weapon. Before we go any further, could you just lean your camera up a little bit more so we can see your heart? You don't have to lean back. Just lean your camera up. Just perfect. That's perfect, man. How do you say your name? Your first and last name? Like, how does your mama say it?
Osei.
Osei.
Yes, Osei.
How do you say it? Osei?
Yeah.
Abena.
Osei Abena.
Abena. Is that Igbo?
It's Benin.
Benin.
Yeah.
And could you explain to everybody what Benin is?
It's just another tribe, like Igbo in Nigeria. There's the Igbo tribe and there's the Benin tribe.
There's a lot of different tribes in Nigeria, in Africa, from what I'm hearing. And again, I'm still learning, so I just wanted to give you a fair opportunity to explain to our entire NFC community what it is. Our Benin brother, Osei, the weapon, Abena. Thank you for joining us, man. I know you've been in Vegas the whole week with the GOAT, John Jones, man. I was interested to see like how that whole thing even came about, bro. Like, could you start us from the top? How are you even linked in with that camp?
So let's see. Man, like 4 years ago, 4 to 5 years ago, before COVID and everything, I decided to just go train at Jackson Wing for like a month. So I just packed up and went and stayed in the dorms just as a exploratory trip. I just wanted to explore. I have a great job and I can work from anywhere in the world. So I decided to just go to New Mexico and work from there while I stayed at Jackson Wing. And when I went to Jackson Wing, I started training there, and I guess that's where I started making friends. And I made friends with all of John Jones's coaches. Basically, he has his coaches like Coach Alex, Brandon Gibson. These are all people that I'm close to and I talk to. So, and the way I made friends with them is not by saying, "Hey, I want to be a friend." They saw me putting in work on the mats, and they were like, "Okay, yeah, you can hang with us," and that's how the friendship started. And then, as far as John, I don't really know how me and John became friends, but I know I saw him, said what's up to him. We got to talk and stuff, and then he started following me on Instagram at some point. And yeah, he watches my stuff. He sees what I post. He sees my videos. He communicates with me, and he saw that I'm a different kind of martial artist, you know. And ever since then, you know, we have just been, you know, friends. And fast forwarding now, no, fast forward before COVID, you know, he flew me out to his to Albuquerque to hang out with him for like a week, you know, and I felt like this was like a recruitment process. You know, he wanted to get a sense of who I was as a person. And so I was there for about a week. We trained, me and him only sparred every day. You know, I would show up and we would spar for like 2 hours straight, you know, and just vibe and chill. And this was when he was making the transition to heavyweight, you know. And ever since then, you know, we just kept in touch, and that's how it's been.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, Ose, the weapon Abinal, joining us here on NFC Now, explaining his relationship with the GOAT, John Jones. Earlier, I just had on Jesse Wable, man. We spoke about just relationships and how, like, yo, people are people, and like if you make a good impression, it always sticks in somebody's head. And that's what I just heard, man. You went out there and just trained, and then you were able to just meet people and network.
Yeah.
You mentioned your job as a, you know, I just saw you're a software engineer.
Yeah, I'm a software engineer. I write code for a living.
Indeed. So you're able to do that wherever you are.
Wherever I am.
Indeed. You just need to open up your computer and be able
I
to do that.
open up my computer and get to work.
Indeed. So John Jones flies you out for that. You said it was a not courting process.
Yeah.
Like how did you describe it?
A recruitment process. He was trying to get a sense. Recruitment. I feel like he was trying to get a sense of who I was as a person and as a martial artist. This was the first time that me and him actually got to spend time together, just the both of us, you know. Yeah.
Obviously, you know, we look at John as the GOAT, and now that you've been able to actually spend time with him, has he become like more human to you? Just a regular guy?
John is a very regular guy. He's the most down-to-earth person you'll ever meet. He's a very humble human being. He is very, very religious, you know, really believes in his religion and takes it very seriously. And, you know, when all the stuff was happening and the media blowing shit out the media, I was just like, man, you guys really don't know this guy, you know. It just so happened that he had the wrong people around him, you know, and these people affected him in certain ways, you know, but he has definitely cleaned up his circle and keeping the right people around him.
This time around, as he went to go obtain the heavyweight title versus Cyril Gane, when did he bring you out for that, and why?
I'm a striker. I'm a very
Methodical.
I'm a very skilled striker where I think a lot about what I'm about to do. Me and him have similar thought patterns when it comes to martial arts, you know, and I feel like he brought me out because I represent what Gane does 100%, you know, the type of fighter Gane is, that's the type of fighter I am. And just because, you know, I have been talking to him on Instagram and giving him feedback on what I had been studying in terms of Gane once I heard the fight announced, you know, I had been giving him feedback on the things to exploit, Gane's tendencies, and things that he can build options around, you know, and he found those interesting and said he would try those out in training, you know, and so we were supposed to connect throughout the entire training camp, but things happened that couldn't allow that to happen. But at the end of the camp, when he was going to Vegas, he reached out to me and said, hey, I want you in Vegas with me for this fight week. And I was like, say less, champ, you know, and packed my bags and I was in Vegas, you know.
How'd that feel to have John Jones like hit you up and be like, yo, I want you out here with me?
Yo, it was surreal, man. You know, I talk to John, but every time he communicates with me, it's always so fucking like, you know, weird, you know, and just unreal. But yeah, he. It was, and he came. The text came through at like 3 a.m. in the morning, right? So I'm sleeping, and I just get this text, and I'll just see the champ saying, "Hey, I need you in Vegas with me for fight week." And I'm like, "Say less, champ. I'm there."
I can't wait. I'll be there when you need me.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how we happened, and but we were training the whole time. We were putting in work behind the scenes. We were putting in. See, one thing I'm good for when it comes to martial arts training is I see a lot of mistakes that people make in terms of training where they just routinely do the same things over and over. They don't really train for fighting, you know. And what I do is I like doing simulation training. And simulation training means that we have to bring out what our opponent does and build options around it. Yeah.
Indeed,
and that's what
man.
we do.
Yeah, so y'all really got to work, man, and you were able to just be around like that energy, the fight week energy, man. As a competitor yourself, man, what did you learn just being in that environment, especially with the media and the attention just around John? Like this was a massive fight. Like, what did you learn just kind of like watching John Jones move and just being in it yourself?
So I learned that first of all, cutting weight sucks because it affects you during fight week. And since John didn't have to cut weight this time, he was in the best mood ever, every time. He was handling the media, meeting with the fans, and everything else with a great vibe and energy because he wasn't starving, he wasn't thirsty, he wasn't depleted of things that he needed in his body. So I learned that it's very important to be at the weight that you're very comfortable at. And two, the other thing I always learn from John is, man, you have to be very humble. He's a very, very humble human being. Very humble. Man, he really will stand and talk to all his fans. His circle really has to say, "Yo, enough, bro, enough."
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a really humble and great human being, man. He really is.
You talked about just how that relationship came about. I'm assuming that while you're out there, you were forming more relationships, man. Like on a personal level, like what kind of seeds did you sow while you were in Vegas this past week with John Jones and his entire camp?
Oh man, dude, I sowed so many seeds. So John, again, this speaks to who John is as a person. So he had 4 of us as his training partners out of 400 people that applied to do this stuff. He got just 4 of us. And the 4 of us he handpicked and he brought us together to form a bond because he plans on keeping us as his training partners. And it was me, Walt Harris, Mike Rodriguez, and Maurice Green. These are all UFC guys, that fight for the UFC and PFL. So first, it was us getting to know each other and forming that bond. And second, it was us getting to form the bond with the coaches, which I already had a bond with the coaches because I know them, and so we just built the chemistry and maintained a really nice, good vibe and energy around him, which empowered him all the way into the fight.
You empowered him all the way into the fight. You were able to also get some different looks, in training, I'm assuming, man. Like, you sparring against the champ. Does that give you any? I'm sure that gives you the utmost confidence. Like, no, I'm sparring with the heavyweight GOAT, and like I'm sparring with the one. Does that give you more confidence as you continue to grow in your career?
Absolutely, absolutely. Whenever I spar with anybody, I try to bring my best martial arts self, and I know that's what gets me the friends that I have, the circle, because they really appreciate me for my skills and my passion of martial arts, and so yeah, it really is something that absorbs me, and it's something that I really obsess over, and it's what has gotten me to where I am today, in terms of mingling with the GOAT, It's not that I've fought 1,000 times like everybody else, I don't even have a professional MMA fight, but here I am hanging out with the GOAT and, exchanging knowledge, and he's bringing me in. So it's just my obsession with the art that speaks for itself,
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, Osei Abena joining me on NFC Now, show number 23, as we discuss his his experiences with John Jones this past weekend. And we also discussed what's on the cusp for you, man. You said you haven't had a professional fight, but Jesse just kind of just previewed or teased that he might have something in the works. Could you speak on that?
Yeah, so Jesse reached out to my manager with Fighters Edge Management and offered a fight, and I was like, run it, People don't understand that I'm really good at jiu-jitsu. Like, jiu-jitsu is actually my first love, and I'm really good at it. I just decided to take a bunch of Muay Thai fights because I like striking. I really like striking, and I like outsmarting people on the feet. And if you've watched any of my fights, as you see, my opponents have a hard time getting to me. And but I also realized, talking with my head coach Amir Dadovich, that you really take, with the skills I have, I will take a lot less damage in MMA. Because in Muay Thai, I have always dealt the damage, but I still leave the fight with damage because I'm doing a lot of kicking and stuff, and I leave with my legs swollen. So in MMA, I'll definitely be taking less damage if I go out there and just submit people, or the 4-ounce gloves are really small, so I can really just go out there and just knock people out with my accuracy,
Did he have a date for this fight?
What's his name? Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I have his name. Let me get my manager real quick. She's somewhere here.
Okay, now you. All right, look, it's cool. I just wanted to know a date. If you don't have the date just yet, I'm sure we'll find out.
I know his name. I just forgot.
No need for the name. I'm curious about the date. The date itself.
Huh? What's his name? Leech something Leech.
Something Leech, and the date though, like when it was going to take place.
June 2nd. June
2nd. Okay, that should be really good at Monday Night Garage. Again, Ose Abinah joining us here on NFC Now. Now you have a son, correct?
Yeah.
Your son is going to be fighting in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Could you speak more on that, Matt? Because we see him at all the NFC fights, and every time he gets into the cage, he'll clean the cage. He'll be like, "Man, I can't wait to get in here. I can't wait to get in here. I can't wait to get in here." Could you speak on him?
Do you follow him? Have you seen any of his? Have you seen him on Instagram?
Nah, let me follow him right now. What's his Instagram?
His Instagram is It's Devon, at It's Devon.
At it's just Devon Dorlier.
Yeah. Follow him, and his profile will speak for himself. For itself. Follow him, but yes, that's the next generation of fighters. That's the next generation. That's the updated version of a skilled martial artist, and keep a lookout for him. Yes.
He'll be fighting Zion Hill on March 18th in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Yeah.
When you watch your son compete, where are your emotions at?
My emotions are, we put in the work for this the right way, and I have the best seat in the house to watch him put on a show, and that's what he's always done. He gets all the information on how to keep himself safe in there, which I spend hours, just studying and making sure that I give him everything. And by the time he gets out there, he's an assassin ready to just put work, man. You should see him live, yo. He is nasty.
I'm excited to see him just strictly based off of his excitement to be in there. Again, every time I see him, he's like, "Yo, I can't wait to get in here."
Yeah.
In between fights, I'll just be in the cage and he'll just be like, "Yo, man, I can't wait till my opportunity. I can't wait." So, what is he, 17?
He's 17, and the thing is, he's 17, but we can't compete. Like when we go to compete in certain spots, the youth can't compete with him no more, so they have to match him against adults, and he just beats all the adults in his weight division.
Really? So we should look forward to watching him compete in the NFC here sooner than later.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. He's gonna be in the NFC, putting on a good show for the fans.
Indeed. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Ose Abinah joining me here on NFC Now. Just a couple more things, man. I see you train with my boy Ziggy 2-Player, man. That's my Igbo brother. You know what I mean?
Man, Ziggy's my guy, yo.
Yeah, Ziggy was my mentor in college, for college radio, man. He was somebody I always listened to, man. Always took me under his shoulder. I see that you're training with him at Gwinnett Training Academy, man. Could you just speak on the academy itself and some of the great things that y'all are doing over there?
Man, this academy has been the place that has bred all the talent you're seeing around in Georgia. You know, it used to be Gwinnett, it used to be ATT Gwinnett, and it split at some point due to politics, and the Limas opened up their own gym. And you know, a bunch of people followed the name and went to the Limas, which is cool. But the source code stayed here. The source code stayed here, and it's not about volume. It's about quality, you know. And the remaining people that are here, we're breeding them to show the world what true martial artists look like. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, we have Amir Dadovich as our head coach. Amir is a very, very skilled veteran martial artist, you know, and he taught me a lot of what I know, and I look up to him a lot as a head coach and as a human being, as a big brother, you know. He guides me in a lot of things, and yeah. So this is the place, man. This is the place, and we don't have a lot of bodies here right now in terms of certain programs, but it'll pick up. It's just a matter of time.
Indeed, I love what you said. It's not about the about the volume. It's about the impact that y'all are making. Yeah. So shout out to y'all. I know we got our guy Nico Peace competing this week.
He's actually here. Bring Nico and let him say what's up, man.
Yeah, come on, Nico. Come holler at the gang.
You know, we're getting Nico ready. Nico Peace. It's not gonna be so peaceful.
Nico Peace. Nico, what's up, bro?
Man, you know what time it is.
I'm excited to watch you compete, man. What you walking out to this week?
Oh man, you true. I don't know if I can tell you that secret, man. Just know, man.
Just wait on it. Just wait on it.
You never know.
That's what's up, man. Hey, man, we look forward to watching you get out here, man. We just previewed your fight a little bit earlier, man. Definitely look forward to you just coming out there and entertaining the crowd, man. You did such a great job entertaining the crowd. You did a hell of a job fighting, man. Look forward to you getting out there.
Most importantly, you know, we come to fight, but we got to entertain, man. That's what brings the numbers in, and that's what's important. So, you know.
It catches eyeballs too, man. So, like, you know, after you fought last time, I know that was your debut, man. It was like, okay, I'm looking forward to watching you compete this next time and seeing your name on this card at the Battery, man. Like, yo, I mean, you're fighting at the Battery, bro. Like, this is a pretty monumental card. Where are your emotions at?
I don't feel too much emotions. Every once in a while, you get a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not too worried about it. I'm more so, honestly, the first fight, it was all of the nerves. That I really got so much nerves out of that one. And this one is not going to be as much, you know. I really got the feeling of stepping in the crowd, hearing my parents hearing my name, you know, seeing like it's just me and one other dude in the ref that want to hurt me, you know. So I know what time it is this time, and I'm going to go do what I do.
Man, look forward to you doing that, man. My last question to you before we holler back at Osei, man. You know, again, I'm talking to Osei right now, but like, how would you describe Osei as a man?
As a man, it's to put it the simplest, the least words would be the best mentor that you could really learn from in more aspects than just fighting. Like, to take away from, man, you got me. That's hard to describe. He's the best person you can be learning from. I can tell you that much.
I respect that, man, and I'm sure Osei respects that too, man. I just see all the work that y'all consistently put in, man, and you know, just consistently posting, man. So definitely look forward to watching you compete coming up this weekend, Nico.
Looking forward to it, man. I appreciate you.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, that's Nico Peace, not Price. Nico Peace. He'll be.
There we go. Hey, make sure David don't get my stuff messed up no more.
I got you. I'm gonna make sure we say it. I'm gonna make sure I say it the right way. Nico Peace. He'll be competing this Friday night against Mr. Breed. I think Breed is from this new gym. So look forward to having him. Osei, before we part ways, man, your final thoughts. What do you want to leave me and the entire NFC community with, brother?
Man, let's see. The NFC community is great. David Oblas gives us a great platform to showcase our skills as martial artists. You know, David Oblas is a very nice dude, super humble guy. That has a good sense of humor, and I've grown fond of him. You know, and hey, as martial artists in the NFC community, we need to start supporting each other. And you know, You know, I'm the CEO of Talented Reflexes. It's a brand that represents martial arts. It represents, you know, solid fundamentals of being a martial artist. That's what the brand stands and symbolizes. It's not a name. It's not my nickname. It's not some cool stuff. You know, it's something that when you wear, people see, they're like, oh, this guy is probably a badass. You know, so hey, let's jump on it and get more support. You know, and blow this thing out there. You know, and know that it's our brand. You know, we all can put in a good force behind it. You know. Yeah.
Indeed. Talented Reflexes. Y'all definitely make sure you support a hustler, man. Maybe I can get a shirt here soon. You know, lace us up. You know what I'm saying? We support a hustler. You know, let me know how much. Let me know where I need to go. But I saw Nico and his Talented Reflexes hoodie. You know, we can make it happen. I gladly, you can place your advertisement right here, man. You know what I mean? Because you a good dude, Osei. You a good man. And I think Nico just spoke to that. And we could see, you know, just off of the strength that, you know, John Jones wants you in his team, man. I think that speaks a lot to who you are as a man, as a martial artist. And we look forward to watching you compete on June 2nd when that time comes. Look forward to your son getting out there competing on March 18th in South Carolina. And just look forward to you continuing just to be an amazing beacon and martial artist that represents martial arts here in Georgia, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Osei Abena.
Yes. Hey, Julian.
Respect, brother. You know it. You know it. My man DK Brewer just said Osei is a computer. Shout out to Osei. Yeah, shout out to Osei. Osei, you can tell how smart he is, man. My Nigerian brother. Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NFC Now show number 23. I am Julian Virgin. David Oblas could not make it this evening. He is still recovering from his back surgery. I guarantee you he will be there Friday, March 10th for the fights. But when you see him, do not pat him on the back. Just give him a hug, man. Just give him a nice embrace, man. You know what I'm saying? Just give him fist pounds, man. We're going to make sure he heals up all nice and well. Definitely looking forward to that fight. Looking forward to our next guest coming on. We'll have Chad Risley on the back end of this promo. Again, ladies and gentlemen, y'all stay tuned for NFC Now, show number 23. We got our guy Chad Risley, who's competing for the NFC flyweight belt, coming up next.
Mad Mike Wilson. I'm the soon-to-be featherweight champion at the NFC, and I'm fighting Devontae Sewell for the opportunity to get that belt.
Here you go, your boy, the grinder, Devontae Sewell. I'll be fighting March 10th, Friday, live at the Battery. I'll be fighting Mike Wilson in the main event.
Oh, me and Devontae, we've actually trained together multiple times, so a lot of mutual respect for each other. When the fight was offered, you know, he messaged me respectfully, like, hey, you know, what do you think about this? I said, hey, man, if it works for you, you know, if you can make some money off of it, you know, I'm looking for a big fight, so, you know, let's do it.
Mike, good people, strictly business. We'll see each other March 10th and let the best man win.
I know his work ethic a good bit about his style, but he knows what to capitalize on me, and I know what to capitalize on him in certain situations. And we're not guys who aren't going to go for that kill when we know it's theirs.
I'm definitely going to take full opportunity of this showcase. This is a good challenge in front of me. I'm focused. I'm ready to kill.
The fight's going to be March 10th. It's going to be NFC 153 live at the Battery right here by the Braves Stadium at Sports and Social.
Me, Devontae, the Grinder Sewell versus Mike Wilson in the main event. Get your tickets at nfcfighting.com. Let's get it popping.
Get your tickets at nfcfighting.com. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Julian Virgin. This is NFC Now, show number 23, as we preview NFC 153 this coming Friday, March 10th. Coming up next is a man who will be challenging for the NFC's flyweight belt versus Abraham Perez. This fight is definitely going to be a banger. We would like to welcome our guy, Chad Risley, on to the show. Chad, what up, bro? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, bro. How are you?
I'm maintaining, man. How you living, bro? Where you at?
Living, bro. I'm at home right now.
You at the crib, man?
Yes, sir.
It's Monday on fight week, bro. What is it looking like for you, Chad? What we got going on, bro? Like, what's the week look like?
Shit. Business as usual. Train this morning. Got to run in this evening. Gonna just be ready, be on weight, be ready to go Friday.
We hear a lot, after the fight, how, it was a tough training camp. It was a tough one. I had battled some injuries, man. Like, just right now, man, tell us how has the training camp been, man? Are you dealing with anything in particular without giving away too much information, man? Like how has it been for you?
It's been good. I've been healthy. No injuries or anything. Had a good camp. It's been a little harder than my last couple fights, given this is my first 5-round fight, but everything's hard, so got to be ready for everything.
When this is your first five-round fight, I'm assuming that the cardio has been like a big deal, man. How have you and your coaches kind of like shaped your training around getting prepared for a 5-rounder?
Nothing really too different, just longer sessions, harder sessions, longer runs, just more cardio intensive workouts.
I feel it, man. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Chad Risley joining me here on NFC Now, show number 23. He'll be fighting Abraham Perez this coming Friday for the NFC's flyweight belt. Chad, you said longer sessions. You've fought, before in the NFC, big crowds. Now we're at the Battery. This is, and you're fighting for a belt. Where are your emotions at?
I mean, it's really no different for me. Honestly, it's just another fight.
I hear a lot of people, you hear a lot of people say it's just another fight, but like, is it truly just like, oh, I'm just going into another fight, or is this a little extra sauce on it?
I mean, not really. I don't like to focus too much on the pretty things, like the belt and being the champ and whatnot. I'm just going in, take it round by round, just try to win every round, and hopefully come out on top with the belt.
Have you been able to study your opponent, Abraham?
No, I don't really worry too much about that. I let my coaches worry about that. What kind of game plan around?
Yeah, like what have they been saying about Abraham? You said you let your coaches worry about it. Like, what are some of like the things that they're telling you to be wary of?
I mean, obviously the guillotines, slick submissions. He's got long, skinny arms. Just be ready for everything. He's good on his feet, good on the ground, good at wrestling, good at jiu-jitsu. So just be ready for everything. And left no stone unturned.
Have you been training a lot with Chris, his previous opponent?
Yeah. I've been training with Chris constantly, every day, pretty much since we've done promo stuff for Chris, and we've been training. I did the stuff with him, so I've been training with Chris a lot. Chris is my main training partner.
Shout out to Chris Wynn. One up
Yes,
against
sir.
Abraham Perez last time out. Now, you obviously work. Is it a fencing business with your dad?
Yes, sir.
Is that what's on your shirt? What is that on your shirt?
No, this is just a shirt from H&M.
Oh,
It's a bonsai tree.
Yeah, shout out to H&M. When it comes to balancing training and work, man, like, how do you find that? Because we just heard about an opponent that had to drop out of a fight because he wasn't able to get to the gym, man. Like, have you dealt with that being an amateur? Getting your work in, and also like going to the gym and get your work in.
Yeah. I don't really have a problem with getting my work in and balancing work because I work with my dad. My dad understands, and he's really plays a big part in me being able to train as much as I do and being able to not work and still have money in and still be able to train as much. So my dad's really a huge help when it comes to that.
Shout out to your dad, man. I'm sure he'll be at the fights this weekend, man. Like, your family, obviously, y'all came through thick. Y'all came through thick for the NFC banquet. Now, what does it mean to have like that level of support when you go into a fight?
Oh, I mean, it means the world. Honestly, it's everything. Coming out to just super loud crowd, everybody cheering for me, knowing everybody's there to see me win. It's just like just means the world, really. I couldn't imagine coming out to a crickets.
I think about that too, man. Sometimes it's like, especially like the out of town guys, like I'll say their name and like nobody will clap, and I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And then versus somebody like you that comes out and it has a killer crowd. But now you're fighting against somebody who also has a very loud crowd, man. Like, when you're actually in the cage and you're competing against somebody, are you really hearing that, or can you hear that? Can you process, like your crowd versus his crowd?
No, honestly, it's always been the same when I've competed. I've been competing since I was young, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, whatnot. And every time I compete, it's just zoned in. Don't really hear anything else going on. So in the cage is no different than
What are you going
than
to
on
be?
a wrestling mat.
Heard that again, ladies and gentlemen. Chat Risley joining me here on NFC Now. What are you going to be walking out to, bro?
I'm honestly not even sure yet. I haven't made up my mind.
What do you typically listen to, man? Like what's your go-to?
I mean, I listen to everything. Last time I came out to Amigos song. Time before that, I came out to Biggie and what's his name? Victory by Biggie and Puff. And then time before that, I came out to some Beastie Boys. So it's just kind of all over the map.
It depends on how you feeling walking in.
Yeah, pretty much. I got to make up my mind here a couple
Being
days.
that you're fighting a little bit later on this card, man, does that kind of affect your preparation? Do you like being in the back? Like, what time do you obviously you have to be there for the fighter meetings, but like, sitting there kind of waiting around for all the other fights. Like, what do you do in that interim?
I mean, just chill, relax, get my mind right, get locked in. Just pretty much just listen to music and chill till it's time to warm up.
You fighting at the Battery? What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's awesome. I'm really honored to be a part of such a big event that y'all are putting on. And I've been to the Battery. I've been to the Braves games many times. It's an awesome place to be. It's going to be a great crowd, super loud. So I assume it's going to be a great night.
Have you or anybody else in training come up with a nickname for you, Chad?
No, not yet. I don't really focus too much on that.
I'm not saying focus. I'm not saying like you've been
I
over there
know.
cooking it up. But has anybody like thrown something out there that's like, oh, that might stick?
No, not really. Nobody's really come up with anything that's been like real serious.
Okay. All right. Because I was just wondering, because when I do announce you, I just wanted to see if anything else has come up. Maybe we could work on something.
I mean, it's in the back of my mind. I've been thinking about it, but it's not. Especially this fight, bigger fight, probably going to be my hardest fight, I assume.
Okay. So
Got a tough guy in front of me.
Once you get the belt, then maybe we could start coming with nicknames. But until then, we're just gonna be Chad.
We're just gonna be game time.
Okay, Chad, game time. Is it Risley or Risley? Am I saying it right?
It's Risley.
Risley. Okay, I gotta make sure I'm saying it right. I've been saying it Risley the whole time. Just didn't know if it was anything else. Now, Chad, you're going against a tough opponent, Abraham Perez. You just acknowledged that this is gonna be your toughest test. What do you need to do in order to get your hand raised?
Just take it round by round. Don't get too overwhelmed. Just keep calm, keep my mind calm. Just focus on what's in front of me and just take it round by round. Like I said, just win every round. And you win every round, you win the fight. So that's the goal.
Are you on weight?
Yeah. I walk around no heavier than 9 or 10 pounds over.
Okay, so we're good to go. Are you looking forward to the face-off?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen him in person. Obviously, I fought on the card with him last November when he fought Chris. But I'm looking forward to looking at him, seeing what he sees in me, seeing what I see in him.
Are you like when you do the face-off? Are you mad serious? Because I could kind of see maybe like I might break a smile and crack a smile real quick. You looking at me all hard? Are you kind of like what are you looking at when you do the face-off?
I mean, I'm just looking, honestly. I'm not trying to I mean, obviously you're trying to be intimidating, but I'm just chilling, taking it business.
I feel it, man.
Nothing personal. I'm just here to do the job, get it done, and go home.
It's just business. I know you've sold a ton of tickets, man, leading up to this fight, man. To all your fans, myself, and the NFC community, man, what do you want to leave us with?
Hey, Friday, March 10th. Just be there. Biggest event MMA history in Georgia, as y'all say. So be there, be square.
Be there, be square. Look forward to watching you compete this weekend, Chad Risley. All business. I'm feeling like all business, bro. You don't really stray too far, man. It's just like you right here with it. I like that. All
Yes,
business,
sir.
Risley. You know the vibes, man. Thank you for joining us, bro. Fight tough.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Man. We'll talk to you soon. Again, ladies and gentlemen, NFC Now show number 23. I am Julian Virgin. Unfortunately, David could not make it as he is still recovering from his back surgery. I hope everybody's doing well out there, man. I know y'all have gotten used to David and I being on the pod together. I hope that I am holding it down in the method, in the manner that it should be held down, and representing the entire NFC community as we do this show each and every Monday at 7 o'clock. Y'all drop a comment. Let me know what you think, how you think was going, what we could do better. Really, I'm mad. I should have done some polls for this week. I want to kind of see how everybody's feeling. We're about to have a main event, Mad Mike Wilson. You like that, Mike? You heard me, right? Yeah, main event, Mike. Let me know how y'all feeling about this fight. Are we leaning one way? Are we leaning the other? I'm interested to kind of see how the community feels about it. And maybe we should I would love to just put up like a poll, and like it doesn't have to say any names, because again, this is a very tight-knit community. We don't want to offend or disrespect anybody. We just want to know. Let me know. Shout out to whoever said this. Awesome job, bro. You killing it. I respect that. Continue. Feedback makes us better, and that's one thing I really respect about Dave. Dave is never afraid to hear feedback, because again, we want to. When we get on this pod, we want to give y'all the best show possible. We want to be able to talk to the fighters and just entertain the people every Monday night. So shout out to whoever said that. Mad Mike all day sub in the second. Ooh, okay. I wonder who said that. I'm interested. Again, y'all drop some comments. Let me know exactly how you feel like this fight is going to go down. On the back end of the break, we will have Mad Mike main event, Mad Mike Wilson on the pod. I'm going to play this promo one more time of him and Devontae Sewell. And again, on the other side of the break, we will have Mad Mike main event Wilson coming up.
Mad Mike Wilson. I'm the soon-to-be featherweight champion of the NFC, and I'm fighting Devontae Sewell for the opportunity to get that belt.
Here you go, your boy, the grinder, Devontae Sewell. I'll be fighting March 10th, Friday, live at the Battery. I'll be fighting Mike Wilson in the main event.
Oh, me and Devontae, we've actually trained together multiple times, so a lot of mutual respect for each other. When the fight was offered, he messaged me respectfully, like, hey, what do you think about this? I said, hey, man, if it works for you, if you can make some money off of it, I'm looking for a big fight, so, let's do it.
Mike, good people, strictly business. We'll see each other March 10th and let the best man win.
I know his work ethic a good bit about his style, but he knows what to capitalize on me, and I know what to capitalize on him in certain situations. And we're not guys who aren't going to go for that kill when we know it's theirs.
I'm definitely going to take full opportunity of this showcase. This is a good challenge in front of me. I'm focused. I'm ready to kill.
The fight's going to be March 10th. It's going to be NFC 153 live at the Battery right here by the Braves Stadium at Sports and Social.
Me, Devontae, the grinder Sewell versus Mike Wilson in the main event. Get your tickets at nfcfighting.com. Let's get it popping.
Let's get it popping. NFC 153 main event. Mad Mike Wilson versus Devontae Sewell. That is fight number 16 of the evening, and you definitely do not want to miss it, because main event Mike is not only going to be main event, and he's also going to be joining me here on NFC Now. Yo, Hero Roofing better be giving you this check, bro. That's all I know.
That's right. But I guess we'll start off with Hero Roofing, since you mentioned it. Yeah, they're going to be my main sponsor for the fight. They actually sponsored the NFC Awards ceremony not too long ago. Nick Brennan, the CEO of Hero Roofing. If y'all don't know, man, he's been a combat sports supporter for a long time. He used to fight for the NFC as a kickboxer. He supported me in my amateur career with a clothing company that he started up. And he used to pedal at the NFC shows back when he worked as a bartender. On the side, and he's killing it now as a roofer, and he sponsors me, another bare knuckle fighter from Atlanta, Josh Marr, a few other guys around Atlanta, but really does a lot for like youth wrestling and a lot of things like that. So hey, man, if y'all need a roof, get the Roof Hero.
Shout out to Hero Roofing, man. Like, just as a fighter, Mike, how important is a sponsorship to you? Like, what does that look like?
Oh man, it's just it really for the sponsor. If any of y'all out there have a business or company and y'all got a little bit of spare money and you care about combat sports, find a fighter and sponsor them. even if it's just, per fight or, like a little bit every month, it's a tax write-off for your business anyway. So, get out there and support these guys, having that little bit of extra gas money to go cross train, the money to cover medicals, things like that. People don't realize amateurs, really don't make anything for fighting other than maybe some ticket sales and then what they can get off sponsors. So for a lot of amateur guys, the only way they can fight is have sponsors, to make it financially viable or even make it work. So if you have the opportunity, or even if you don't own a company, if you're just well off and you go to a gym, take one of the young fighters and be like, hey man, like, let me put a little bit towards what you got going on, cause it's rough out here being a fighter. So sponsors, especially long time ones that stick with you and aren't there just when you're up, but they're there when you're down. Like, man, those sponsors are amazing. So
as I always say, man, support a hustler. You know what I'm saying? Because and when I say a hustler, I mean just anybody. Y'all are fighting. You're out there right now. You got your shirt off. You at your gym. You hustling. You know what I'm saying?
We selling our bodies out here, man. We selling our bodies.
You know what I mean? You out here hustling, man. Like if you can't support a hustler, man, and that's why I also say, like, we need more characters, man. You sporting the beard and everything, like that. Like you stand out, Mike. And if I was somebody who was looking to support a fighter, you're looking for somebody who's going to be a character, somebody that stands out, and that somebody's going to bring that eyeball. So shout out to Hero Roof and shout out to you, Mad Mike Wilson, joining me here on NFC Now. You will be headlining the NFC 153 card live at the Battery this Friday. It's fight week. Are we on weight? How we looking, brother?
Oh yeah, I mean, fighting at 145, I'm always close on weight. I walk around at like 155, so I don't cut much weight to 45. I think that's kind of a big trend the way the sport's going. Devontae's also a guy who used to fight at 35 and now is at 45. You see half the UFC welterweights used to be lightweights. So these smaller weight cuts to make sure, the camp and everything just goes so much smoother. You feel better. So, weight's definitely not going to be a problem.
Weight's not a problem. Just what are your emotions like? You've done this before, Mike. You've main event Mike, Mad Mike. You've done this before, but just like, now that you're going into another one, especially here live at the Battery, man, like, where are your emotions at on a Monday?
Oh man, just excited. Like I said, fighting is what I do. You know what I mean? A lot of guys look at it like, going to war and, they get super serious and they're all, like life or death and like, yeah, and for me, it's like, it's not necessarily like I'm a warrior, but it's more like I'm a gladiator. Like, yeah, it's a fight to the death, but the crowd and the energy and all of that is why I do this. Like, I don't want to go to war and fight in front of nobody and die on some random battlefield. Like, nah, if I die, I want to do it out there, like, and it's going to be big and people are going to be like, oh, and, so the war for me is a little different. I don't go in with that warrior mentality. I go in with that gladiator mentality. Like, I'm ready to absorb all that energy and put on that best show and, show what I got. So
I hear y'all are walking down the stairs at the Battery, man. Is that what was discussed when we were at the Battery that one day? Like the walkout is going to be down the stairs?
Yeah.
That's going to be the moment.
Yeah. I love it. That's the one thing I don't like about the district is a little short walkout. But yeah, be able to have that good long walkout, to really feel the energy from the crowd, really let your song get going, you know what I mean? Without having to like wait backstage for 5 minutes to get to a good part of the song. You kind of start to let it blend in. So yeah, super excited to be fighting at the Battery. And like I said, bringing the show for the first time there. And like I said, y'all really, y'all, it couldn't have been two better guys, me and Devontae. I know a lot of people kind of looked at the fight. Somebody asked me, like, how are you 4-4 and got a title fight? And how's Devontae with his record got a title fight? And if you look at the title picture here in Georgia and even the Tapology, the way Georgia's set up right now, the top 4 guys, I would say, are either irrelevant or retired, or like in bigger promotions. So they got Corey Jackson sitting at 4. I'm at 5. I think Devontae's sitting at 6. So when it comes to relevant guys, you're really looking at number 2 versus, number 4 as far as it goes. And like I said, with Corey being out, like I said, that's the 2 top guys. We've fought all over the place, all over the country, fought the toughest guys, and you ain't gonna find two guys, like I said, that are more professional than me and Devontae. So.
High level martial arts is going to be on display at the main event. I definitely look forward to it. Last week we had on a what's up, Doug? Doug Usher in the building. You know the vibe. How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, baby. My head's good. Looking to fight. Probably going to fight in Louisiana on UFC Fight Pass May 13th. All in combat. Brendan Allen show. Tell David Ola I said we said cut the check. Cut the check, baby.
Give it a
You
minute.
heard it here live. Hey, before you go, Doug, how's your daughter?
She's good, man. She's doing real good. Just turned 17 Saturday. So
Indeed.
she's doing real good. Thank y'all for all the prayers and all the advice and just for reaching out. And thank all y'all for being true friends, man. Right here. I love every last one of y'all.
You know it's all love, Doug, man. Keep fighting, bro. Everybody, the whole fam, keep fighting. You know it.
We got it, baby.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, that's Doug Usher. We got Mad Mike Wilson on the line right now, ahead of his main event bout versus Devontae Sewell. High-level martial arts. As I was saying last week, I had on Amun Cosme, and he credited you as his toughest professional fight to date because he said he came out, he hit you real hard. He thought you was gonna fade, but there was no fade. There was no fade, man.
Yeah, he actually broke my nose that first exchange. Like, yeah, that was a test because he caught me right off the rip, and man, I felt like I was drowning that whole fight. But yeah, lucky I was able to survive the fight. Most guys don't survive against Amun, so I made it all 3 rounds and made it competitive, even being under duress. So I'm glad he was able to level up off of it, and it definitely leveled me up.
You've competed against Devontae in the training room, man. Like, what difference are you expecting when y'all step into the cage on Friday?
Not too much difference, other than just bad intentions on everything. In the training room, we're trying to take care of each other, but I just expect that this time it's going to be severe bad intentions, and I know what he's capable of, so I'm excited.
Indeed, this don't even trip, bro. That's still me. I'm still here.
You good? I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Mad Mike Wilson joining me here on NFC Now. You said bad intentions are going to be behind most of those punches, man. When you get in there, do you have that level of bad intention too? Do you have like that nasty edge? I know you said you're going there as a gladiator, but like obviously, I know it's Mad Mike, but how would you say that you are when you're in that cage?
Yeah, like it's mad crazy, not mad angry. A lot of guys get that a little. They're like, "Why are you so mad?" It's like, "Nah, just I'm a little mad." So,
mad. Sure.
So, now my mentality is always, bad intentions, of course. Like you got to go in there knowing that if the guy's doing what he's supposed to do, he's trying to kill you. So if you're not trying to do the same to him, then you're underestimating the guy in front of you and you're not realizing what you're getting yourself into. So, of course, the bad intentions are there, but my mentality is always calm. If you get too excited, too extra, I mean, anybody who's done this long enough knows you can't let your emotions get in it, or it will end up bad in the long run. I mean, sometimes, I guess the emotions can help you, but that's going to be few and far between. Your best bet is to be clear-minded, and set and in your purpose, and that's the mindset you got to have when you're going in.
Setting your purpose, and that's a good segue to my next question, man. I know Dave jokes a lot about you and Doug being the most retired fighters ever. What is your why at this point in time, at this point in your career, Mike? Like, why are you doing this?
A lot. The longer I keep doing it, that question keeps popping up more and more. But it's because I can. A lot of us, we don't pull that trigger or do the things. We make excuses for what. But like I always said, this is when I hit that rock bottom, and it's like, hey, what do you want to do? And it's like, hey, I always wanted to be, like I said, a Dragon Ball Z fighter or a Ninja Turtle. This is the closest I can get to that. So I want to live my dream as long as I can live it. And like I said, being out there and being an excellent fighter that people watch, I guess, whether it's Bruce Lee or, like I said, the Dragon Ball Z fighters or just whatever, a fighter that people like to watch. So MMA is the way I can do that. And like I said, there's no other feeling you get than that. So like I said, people say, oh, going to war, going to war is a whole different thing. Like I said, it's gladiator school in the ring. So like I said, that energy, that feeling, that one-on-one where there's nobody there to help you, it's just you versus the other person. And yeah, it's the only place you can get that feeling. And man, the thought of giving it up when I did retire, it's just like, oh man, it's just, as long as I'm still competitive and I can still do this, I don't see why I should deny myself the enjoyment of it.
Indeed, man. And you get an opportunity this Friday to live out more of that dream, man, especially at the Battery, where the Braves play. This is the first card there. I know we spoke about it when we were at the Battery, and you was like, yo, like this is going to be really amazing. But just could you even begin to describe what you'll be feeling when you walk out, or is just one of those things like you'll feel it when you're there?
Oh, it's like I said, that same like I usually always get. I mean, it might be a little bit bigger because of the crowd in the venue. I'm assuming that the crowd will be a little more hype given the atmosphere. And the biggest thing, honestly, is going to be having so many of my kids there. Like I'm a kids coach. I run the kids program here at my gym. A lot of the kids and the parents have bought tickets. It's an all ages venue. All my kids, my children, they're grown now, but they'll be there. So the biggest difference is, like I said, going out there and showing them that, it's something you can do. You know what I mean? It's not some dream. So, and that, to go out there and show, what I teach and perform the way I teach, the way I tell them, humble and win or defeat, go out there and, without all the crazy trash talk, go out there, represent yourself with honor. And, respect your opponent, but also respect them enough to give them everything,
I absolutely love that. And I love that answer, man, because I'm sure you remember some of your first coaches that you stepped into the gym with and like how you looked up to them and how you thought they were the ultimate gladiator. For you to have that opportunity to go out there and represent your gym, and for those kids to see you and, just be like, oh, no, it is real. I remember when my coach, Mike Wilson, stepped out there and headlined at the Battery where the Braves play. Like that's so much bigger than you, with respect to how big you are. That's so much bigger than you because now you're sowing seeds into the next generation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what martial arts is about. You can be the best fighter in the world, but if you can't pass it down and teach it to somebody else and make them better their life through martial arts, then, really what did you do as a fighter? Because eventually you're going to get old, you're going to get slow, and, you're not going to be that best fighter anymore. So martial arts is about what you can pass on and, to improve upon, generation through generation. And keep it going because, it doesn't matter how good you are because eventually you're going to be gone. So you got to pass it on.
That's crazy that you said that because I believe that it was Amun that was on the show last week and he said the same exact thing, man.
Yeah.
So to hear two different martial artists like say the same exact thing about how important it is. Like, what is martial arts unless you're able to pass it down? That says so much about martial arts as a whole. Y'all let me know what you think, what you thought about that comment itself in the comments. Y'all just drop a comment down below and tell me if that holds true. Like, what is martial arts if you're not able to pass it down to the next generation, man? And like that sounds like also goes to the why you're competing to show the next generation, those kids that are there. And so, as a kid, you're so impressionable, the people that you spend your time around, to show them what it's like to go out there and live out your dream.
Yeah, and that's it. Because regardless of what that dream is, like I said, it's just follow it. I can't say bigger to anybody else other than, hey man, just throw everything else out the window. Whatever it is you really, really want, go do it. Like, find a way. Just find a way. You'll be so much happier with yourself.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, Mad Mike, main event, Mad Mike, mad as in crazy, not mad as in mad. Right. Mike joining me here on NFC Now. Mike, last time you were on, man, you spoke about your parents, mm-hmm. and correct me if I'm wrong. You said that both of your parents are where?
They both passed away when I was pretty young. My mom and dad were both passed away by the time I was 14. So lost my parents both pretty early.
How frequently do you think about that?
Oh man, that's a everyday thought, I guess. Yeah, that's an everyday thought. Everyday thought.
That's an everyday thought, man. And like, when you're out there competing, are there a reason that you compete? Is that like when you're out there, like and you're getting that off, is that kind of like energy that you're transmitting?
Oh yeah, most definitely. If my dad could have seen where I'm at now, man, like yeah, every time I walk out there, I'm definitely thinking. Mad Mike is actually a moniker I took from him. When he was on the job site, he was a welder. He worked on the road. And he was a supervisor, and the guys on the crew called him Mad Mike because not because he was mad at the crew, but because he was always, walking some crazy high distance with no hard hat, nothing tesseled onto him, or doing some kind of crazy weld with no hood, hanging upside down. He was always pushing those limits, whether not just at work, just on his own. He actually died in a three-wheeler wreck, so that kind of tells you the kind of the type of guy he was. He was always out doing adventures. So, man, if my dad could see where I'm at now, my dad was the first one who introduced me to the, UFC. He brought a VHS home back, when I was in like elementary school, like early 90s, mid 90s. One of the guys from work gave him, and he was like, man, check this out, because we used to watch wrestling, WWE and all that. And man, we saw those first UFC events. And, that's one of the big impacts that, like I said, made me realize there was such a thing as a professional fighter. And yeah, for my dad to see me now, man, would be insane.
That's beautiful, man. And I just see the way that you're lighting up talking about him, man. So that's beautiful. Yeah. You're a dad. How many kids do you have, Mike?
I got 3 kids. Well, I say kids, they're all grown now. I got a beautiful 22-year-old daughter, a beautiful 20-year-old daughter, and then my son, John Michael III, he's 18 years old. So
and you're John Michael II, because that was another question I was going to ask. That means you're a junior, right?
The second. My dad actually didn't want everybody calling me junior, so he's senior and I'm the second. And they told him at the hospital, like, well, you can't do that. You got to call him junior. And he said, well, he's my son. I can call him, Dick Fuck if I want to. I can name him whatever I want to. You can't tell me what I can't name him. So yeah, it was interesting. The day I was born, the regular doctor wasn't there. They actually had a bunch of combat veterans come in and deliver me. So it was all bullet holes and tattoos in the delivery room. And the nurse was like, trying to tell my dad that he couldn't do this. And then the doctor's looking at him and he's like, hey, so it was a fun one from what I understand.
I was talking to Jesse a little bit earlier, man. He was talking about his son Casey and how they're going out and they go to his wrestling tournaments and how he's just able to spend that time, man. You're a father to now full blown adults, man. Is that something that you cherish as they were growing up?
Oh man. I wish I could go back, you know what I mean? And cherish it even more. But yeah, all those smaller activities, man, I can tell you to take every second you want with your kid, but when they get older, you're going to look back and you're like, God, I should have done more, even if you're that person. I know y'all are the video people. I'm sure y'all got tons of pictures, tons of videos, but yeah, man, it's just one of those things where it's never enough. But, to see my son now, being a grown man who can keep up with me, at work and, in the gym when he's training regular. And he actually cornered me for a fight when I went out to Mississippi. To have him, be a part of this is just, I'm extremely thankful for that. And most people, their kids watch them do it as they're young. And then, by the time their kids are older, they're either retired or, kind of doing something else. But to have my kids be involved in it is it's different and it's super fun.
It's beautiful, man. And I'm sure, again, that just adds to the why. And I'm happy that we're able to just have this dialogue, man, fully flesh out, like, why you're doing this, man. Because, you've been doing it ever since I've been introduced to the NFC, Mike. You've been the man. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, just learning more about you just through talking with you, man. And you said all your kids are going to be there, right?
Yeah, all 3 of my kids will be there that night. So I'll make sure to introduce them. And that is, like I said, when you talk about the why, showing them, there's a lot of memes and stuff you'll see going around like, hey, Dad, you told me I could be anything. Why didn't you? You know what I mean? Ooh. Like, so, I didn't want to be that dad. I gotta prove to them, that, like, I don't care what it is you want to be. If you want to be a billionaire businessman, all you got to do is put the effort in. If you want to be, the next, figure skating superstar, go put in that effort. But, nothing comes easy. They see me, have to work multiple jobs. They see me, coming in late, getting up early. They see me go through injuries, fight sick, fight, just, it's nothing is ever given to anybody, but if you really want something and you put in the effort, nothing is impossible for anybody. So yeah, it's really about, showing them that, hey, look, I'm not just telling you you can be anything. I'm showing you this is what I always wanted. And at 27, 28 years old, I put my foot down and was like, hey, look, I'm not too old. I'm not going to make any excuses. I'm going to follow this. And like I said, I might not ever make it to the UFC, but man, I've been all over the Southeast. I fought some of the top guys. I'm sure that there'll be plenty of guys that I fought or that I'll train in the future that will be in the UFC, and just opening up this whole life has just been been amazing. So there is no failure in it. I found my life's passion in teaching and coaching, and I never would have found that if I wouldn't have took that leap and just said, screw it, I want to be a fighter. And I had no idea that I'd ever want to coach or anything like that. But as my kids got older, I kind of missed having the younger kids, so I didn't mind helping out with the kids class. And I found my lifetime push as a martial artist and a teacher. And it never would have happened if I wouldn't have had the balls to just throw everything else out the window. So I'm going to go after my dream 100%. And like, I lost my first 2 amateur fights, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of guys are like, oh, well, I tried, oh, well, I guess this isn't for me. But I mean, failure is just a way to get better. If you're not failing, then, you're probably not learning as much as you could. So failure is just an opportunity to get better.
Man, I love that. I love that. I love that 1,000%, man. I'm happy that we were able to just connect on a deeper level other than just punches and kicks and really get into your why, man. You're gonna be living out your dream, as you said, and showing others to live out their dream this Friday, March 10th, as you headline versus Devontae Sewell. Mad Mike Wilson, before we part ways, man, your final thoughts. What do you want to leave me and the entire NFC community with?
I just want to say thank y'all for all the years of support. This will be my 15th fight for the NFC. So, man, all the love and support I've gotten here from Atlanta, like I said, coming from, South Fulton, nobody, just a scruffy old dude, trying to make it. The love and support that I received from, the Atlanta community, I cannot thank y'all enough. All the gyms, all the coaches from all around. Just seeing everybody at the fights, I love it, man. I love it. I love Atlanta. Love the home. Thank you to my kids and my family, and my coaches, my whole team surrounding me. I'm so excited to be fighting here in Atlanta, where y'all can all be here. I've been on the road a lot lately, so man, looking forward to packing the house. And like I said, the support and the people buying tickets and hitting me up has been great. People sharing all the videos that y'all did amazing with, by the way. Everybody's been, bragging on that. Thank y'all so much. And then my woman, Michelle, I got to give her a special thank you. For the longest time, I was just single and single-minded. I was literally 7 years single, nothing but fighting. And she found a way to get underneath that tougher exterior and, be like, hey, there is a little more to life than just getting in there and getting beat up all the time. So the fact that she's stuck with me through the ups and downs and the retiring and then unretiring, she's amazing. So Michelle, thank you so much. I love you. And like I said, I hope I see everybody there on Friday night. Like I said, y'all come out, man. It's going to be the 2 best featherweights in Atlanta. Like I said, the most tested featherweights in Atlanta for sure. And like I said, the 2 highest level fighters, man, it's going to be great. We're going to get after it, and it's going to be one to see. So don't miss out. We're going gladiator style.
I can't wait to go to watch you just go in there gladiator style, man. And I hope that everybody was able just to kind of peel back another layer of Mad Mike Wilson and give us another reason to root for you, man, as you step into the cage on the smaller cage on
Yeah.
Friday
Oh
night.
man, I like that too.
Yeah, should be interested to see how that all plays out, man. At the end of the day, Mike, man, we just appreciate you for just being a great role model to those kids, your kids, and just everybody in the NFC community, man. Thank you for taking time and being so vulnerable with me today on NFC Now, brother.
All right, thanks again, Julian. I appreciate you having me. Dave, I hope you get better here soon. And one last thing for Devontae. Hey, man, nothing but love, man. I hope you're training hard. I hope you're ready to go, brother. I can't wait to see you in the cage, man. So let's do it big. Let's do it big.
Let's do it big. Again, ladies and gentlemen, that is Mad Mike Wilson. You hold it down, brother. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Damn, I didn't mean to cut him off mid good night, but it's all love, man. A great conversation with Mad Mike Wilson, man. Really enjoyed talking with him. He again, it gives us the opportunity on this pod to like get deeper with people, man, just to really try to understand what they got going on, who they are outside the cage. You know, a lot of times we see these gladiators for who they are and the fights that they put up, but we sometimes tend to forget that these guys are actual fighters too, and like they live real lives. They have kids. They have emotions. You know, they put it on the line. They make a lot of sacrifices in order to get to where they are. So, and, you know, somebody like a vet and Mad Mike Wilson, man, having all his kids come out there to the fight, his kids that he trains, and also his kids. Shout out to Mad Mike Wilson. It's so much bigger, and that I should start asking that more often. Like, what is your why behind fighting? You know, some people that, you know, they want the glory, they want the, you know, they want to do it, but, you know, there's also like things behind that. So great conversation with Mad Mike Wilson. Great conversation with all of our guests. You know, again, we had Jesse Wable on earlier to preview the entire NFC 153 card coming up this Friday, March 10th. Get your tickets at nfcfighting.com. We had our guy Ose Abena from Talented Reflexes. He came on to talk about his time that he spent with John Jones this past week, how he was able to build that relationship after he just got up, packed his bags, and just went on his way. Built that relationship with John Jones's coaches, and in turn built a relationship with John Jones, just really being a genuine dude. And I think that was the moral of that story. Just being a genuine dude. He broke news that he's going to have a fight on June 2nd. Definitely look forward to watching him compete. He competed against Larry Green last time out at Monday Night Garage. He won that fight. Our guy Larry Green will be fighting this coming Friday against Jakowski. I'm forgetting his last name at the moment, but he will be fighting Jakowski in a professional Muay Thai fight. That's going to be an amazing fight. Y'all make sure y'all pull up for that. We had our guy Chad Risley on. He talked about going up against Abraham Perez for the NFC's 125-pound belt. And then we just ended off with our guy, Mad Mike Wilson. So, it's been an amazing show. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in. Y'all just go ahead, drop a comment. Let me know how you felt today's show went and who you would possibly want on the show for next week. What are some things that you want to see for this coming Friday? Do you have any crazy predictions? Again, y'all just let me know in the comments real quick before we sign off. Got a couple more minutes before we sign off. I just want to talk to the people real quick. Y'all let me know how you feel this whole thing going out. Hey, Princess. Sarai's ready for the wrap. But yeah, y'all let me know what you think is going to happen. Shout out to Terrapin. They're going to be serving our NFC Mixed Martial Arts Ale on tap for the fights this coming Friday. 5.7% alcohol by volume. Again, you got to make sure you get yourself an NFC Mixed Martial Ale. I hope they have like an actual can that I could take home just for like a I think that would be really dope if they had a can that we could take home. Hold up, we're not going bye-bye just yet. We're still talking to the people. We're not going bye-bye. Again, everybody say, hey, Sarai.
Hi.
Yes, we got Sarai here. We have a lot of big fights coming up this Friday, Princess. Hopefully we have Mr. West on. Kiara West, I look forward to having you on the pod, man. Just found out that you had 20 amateur fights in your career, man. I would love to have you on. Oh, shout out to Certified Fighter. Shout out to the brand Certified Fighter. I see what y'all doing out there. I love what y'all have going on. I see we got a lot of different fighters laced up in their Certified Fighter gear. Got some new hoodies. Got some new jumpsuits. This new sweatsuits. I see the hats. The swag is crazy. Hey, if y'all ever want to swag me out, swag me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I support a hustle. I wear it on the pod. I'll let everybody, see the brand. Y'all lace us up. You know, if you got any infant sizes, let me know. You got any women's sizes, generally would love a pair. You know what I'm saying? Y'all swag us out. We got to really princess. Be quiet. We on the pod. Okay, we're about to go say bye-bye. So again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, shout out to our guy, David Oblas. We're going to wish him well. Hope he heals up real nice and well. Again, he will be there on Friday. I guarantee you he will be there. By hook or crook, David Oblas will be in the building. When you see him, don't give him a hug. Don't pat him on the back. Just give him pounds. Give him pounds. Give David, when you see David, just give him pounds. Boom, pounds. We have a wonderful show, 16 fights planned for y'all this Friday, March 10th at the Battery. If you haven't already got your tickets, get your tickets. And yeah, make sure you tune into us every Monday. We are here every Monday to talk about all the events, the people, the interesting news surrounding the National Fighting Championship. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, y'all have a tremendous week. And Sarai, her princess pose. You say goodbye to everybody, baby.
Bye-bye.
See y'all later. Peace. Peace.